I believe. I think everyone's audio should be okay now, right? The Legi Info should be good. Testes. The
Testes.
testes.
Whoa.
I see a relative. I hear my dog barking in the background. I'm getting a mattress delivered right now for a new bed. It's very exciting times. The yes, 21 podcast, and this is what I guess we're teetering on 2 months in to 3.26, which is Mercenary League, and then the Babies On expansion, the triple incarnation fun time.
So, the secrets of the Atlas.
Secrets, very secret. So secret. So secret it's been solved. But it's very secret. Which is a lot of stuff to talk about. I mean, I would say there's probably more in the expansion than the league as far as stuff, which is, I guess, makes sense. But there were a couple categories: builds, mercs, incarnations, which is the bosses 16.5s, aka the originator maps. Which, as a very minor aside, they do call in the challenges T17's purple maps, which made me just mad for no reason, but they did. But aside from that, then, unique scarabs. We'll talk a little bit about Gauntlet stuff. I didn't play, but I think one of you two did, maybe? Either of you? Both of you?
Nope. I did not.
All right, never mind. Fuck it. And then PoE 2, which it's supposed to be. It would have been this weekend if they were on the initial schedule, but I think they've already pushed back 2 or 3 weeks, which is then within the 4 months by like 1 day. So legally, Jonathan has not lied to me yet, but we're cusping.
Still August.
Yeah, legally August. I think it's supposed to be the 29th or something is the
last weekend.
Yeah. So even if there was an issue, they've locked themselves into not being able to push it any more than that, but that's fine. So I guess first thing to mention, if anything, is just we'll start with Legi because it's in the order of how it's displayed on screen is Legi, myself, the Manni. But what are your thoughts on Mercenaries after playing it? Are you having fun? Do you hate it? Do you love it? What do you think?
I mean, when we had a podcast on the first impressions, like when they revealed Mercenaries, I was like very positive about the league. And honestly, I think it's been a great league. I think the league mechanic been really nice. Obviously, the free mercs, I will, get it right out of the gate. Free merc limit, just so annoying. Yeah. Like, I know it's probably some like technical issues, backend issues, whatever it is, but it like made the league so much like less enjoyable. Like it was so bad.
Yeah,
it was only free mercenaries because you couldn't like rotate them, change them, like minimize them. You had to like be really like picky with what you do, and kind of can't do anything about it. So that was the really big bummer. But overall, I've been really happy with the league. It was good.
Yeah,
and it's good.
Yes, it's not over yet. We're just halfway. Just to clarify, I feel I'm having a great time. The mercenaries themselves, it's it's super OP to have a merc, to say something's overpowered is a bit of a misnomer, because if everybody has access to it, which everybody does, then it's not really overpowered. It's just the baseline of what build enabling is, right? It's like using flasks or supports or anything else really at the moment. It's just if you're playing a build, you have a merc, otherwise you're kind of just throwing. And they're pretty super powerful between their ores, their skills, the equipment you could put on, and interactions. A lot of people using common things like Garb with the Ephemeral or things like Sin Eater to make it so they don't have to build for crit immunity or action speed or element immunity, yada, yada, yada. So that's a lot of fun stuff there. Then the Charthan gems, which are just trans gems, they slap the name on. They're a lot of fun. I've used a couple of those, and those have been fun. And then, the game, having a good time playing, going to continue playing, and it's a lot of fun. The 3 limit does suck. I wish there was a way to not just Exile, but also maybe to prefer mercs as far as trying to find them, because trying to find, we've all mapped a atrocious amount, and it's like, I haven't found a merc that's actually like what I would call perfect or close to it. Like I found a couple double ores with the right skills, but like not the right supports or not the right levels, or not like you could do 1,000 maps and not find a merc that, is the actual one you're looking for, if you're looking for one. And then it's like, is it 84, 83? Because they do have technically different level scaling, so that's another level of it altogether. But overall having a great time. Manni, how about yourself?
Your merc is a headhunter.
Yeah, my Merc right now does have a Headhunter on. Yeah. Well, because he's got a 15% Cull Amulet with Aura Effect. So if she's calling, I may as well just give her Headhunter buffs and Soul Ascension stuff.
That's pretty cool.
But no Wither, no Wither support. So that's like what I'm saying. It's it's really cool to have the Zealotry and Envy and the Despair on a Cruel Mistress, but not having Wither.
Oh yeah, finding the perfect one is rough.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I'll ever find it.
The saddest part is, like Legi said, when you actually do have a perfect one, but you have to release him or her.
Oh, I'm locked
because
in.
You need that slot.
I'm just not going to play a build that can't use one of the 3 I have at this point. It's like, yeah, but keep going.
Yeah, I did enjoy the league as well, even though looking at it in a vacuum, it was probably not really that great of a league. Like in hindsight, I feel like the mechanic was kind of undercooked, and same for the endgame expansion. Probably one of the worst ones we've had in the past, but we've just been so stuffed for new content that, I mean, I gobbled it up like crazy. I was non-stop streaming for like 6 or 7 weeks this league. Had a great time. Probably made more characters than I've ever done before.
Yeah.
And yeah, as you said, there's a lot of really OP stuff of the Mercenary, which is nice. Probably not something I want to go core, but like a nice one-off league.
Yeah.
But we'll see how that fares up.
It does seem like it's almost impossible to go core, I would say. Like from a balance perspective, how could you even? It would be such a. I mean, what are your thoughts, Like, you sound like you're about to say something.
Yeah, I really hope. Yeah, I wanted to say that I really hope it doesn't go core. I think it just throws everything.
A nightmare for balance.
Out of the balance. Yeah, it's absolute nightmare. Yeah. I don't want it to go core. I don't want to deal with the mercs.
Do you think
for one league it's super nice, but
so
no more.
Pivoting on that, right? There's 5 merc uniques. They could just slap those on the base game if they wanted, whatever, right? Then you have the Merc gems. Again, they're just trans gems. Where they just threw a name on them. I think they needed to add some sort of reward space, so they just literally just took 12 trans gems they had in the oven and just put Charthus in front. Because there's no real theme between them, so they could just make those trans gems. That's an easy solve.
Yeah, true.
And then the Mercs themselves, I could just see them being added to the Rogue Exile pool as kind of what they exist as, like variations of all the infamous versions just added as new exiles, and that could be fine. Like that seems like a pretty easy way to cook it into the game in some way, because what else about them? I mean, the power level of them is so absurd. Like, how would even having a toned down version would just be a necessity if you could just have someone who, like, just having a second Animate Guardian that just has a level of equipability and defense that you could just augment. It seems absurdly strong.
And maybe if they simplified them a lot, like you wouldn't be able to equip them, they would just come with default items or whatever. But then what's the whole point of the mechanic if it's simplified that much? Then they would just become aura bots. But, it's a bit of a shame for these new archetypes and builds to go away, like playing a support in SSF. That's a thing you've never been able to do before and probably would never be able to do again, which is a bit of a shame. But it would be hard to figure out a way to make them core without fucking up the balance of everything. That's true.
If they stay in the game in their existing iteration and everyone has the same access to them now, I don't know. It would just be like, if it becomes a core part of the game, you'd have to design for it going forward, because it would just be, you have such an enhanced level of power. I mean, everyone's doing whatever 30% more damage with much higher defenses across the board. And everyone can just have 15% call baked in, like all the free. There's so much free shit you get from them that you could just do. It seems
it does make enemies tankier too. So the average build that doesn't abuse anything OP, I feel like doesn't even get that much stronger.
Two offensive auras and 15% call, I think stronger. Already offsets any def. I mean, that's got to be enough.
Bosses get 50% tankier, and yeah, I mean,
not tankier, just life. That's the thing. It's not like they're getting tankier. They just get spongier, I guess.
Isn't that what tankier means?
No, I would say tankier would imply. I mean, to a degree, but I think if something's getting tankier, I would imagine it's getting a more like a rounded defense, so like higher resistances, more armor, like in different directions. I would say just having more life maybe wouldn't be a problem, because that just means it takes a little bit longer by virtue of using a merc. But then you have everything else is also the 25% quantity rarity, as if it's a core half a player.
I mean, once we find a good merc that has a damage aura and put a couple items on it, it's definitely worth using for sure.
Yeah.
But like compared to the outrageous examples like the Dianis prototype or something, it's already the Warcry Mercenaries.
Yeah.
I feel like it's not even
For
that
Rallying
overpowered
Cry, yeah.
normally. Probably would be fine. But like those outliers make it completely impossible to balance.
And those are just ones that exist now. Obviously, with more items and more things comes the opening for other things to add, do similar, have similar outcomes. You know, it just seems like they're
like,
already kind of swamped. It seems like it's a
plus
monkey
they get
wrench.
like ×5 or ×10 damage or something from the mercenary, right? And that's not okay.
Yeah,
that would be a nightmare to balance. But yeah, some other builds that only gain around 50 to 100% more damage while making enemies tankier. I mean, that probably would be okay to keep in the game.
yeah.
If they like balance the game around it, made everything a bit tankier across the board, and then we would have extra gearing to do in every league, which is kind of cool, right? Like I enjoyed gearing up my mercenary a lot.
Yeah,
more gear slots to equip. That's always cool.
Took me an oddly long time to find a dying breath for a cruel mistress. I just never picked one up, and then when I needed one, I was like, I think I dropped like 40 iron staffs that were not dying breath before a dying breath dropped. So yeah, definitely there's a level of fun to it. I mean, I would like to see this interface just applied to Animate Guardian as well, and that would kind of do some of that, because the current minion interfaces are so pathetic. I mean, they don't exist, and it's like to actually engage with them is pretty horrendous. Did you guys get all of your mercenary uniques, the mercenary exclusive ones?
I am missing the bell still.
Yeah. Legi?
I have run 6,000 maps according to my map device MTX, but no luck.
Yeah. You said you got them all, Legi?
Yeah, I got them all. Like I got everything multiple times except the gloves. I got gloves once, and I think those are the rarest. But yeah.
I'm missing the belt and the gloves as well. I've gotten the boots 6 times, the helm 6 times, and I've gotten 2 shields, but I have no gloves, no boots.
Yeah, it seems like there's an obvious gap in rarity, because the helmet and boots are probably seen 10 plus times as well.
Yeah.
And the shield maybe like 3 or 4 times, but the gloves and belt are very, very rare.
Yeah. So pivoting, I guess, onto the talking about the league, the expansion itself introduced like 2 big things, which was the 16.5, the original maps, and then the bosses and their respective drops. What are your guys' thoughts on the bosses from, just a design perspective, the fights, and then like the loot? Legi?
Well, I have really strong feelings about those bosses.
Tell me now.
Like really strong negative feelings and really strong meh feelings, let's say. Because like until like 1 month into the league, I didn't know how the bosses were called. I didn't know which boss was what. Like I remember trying to farm the one of the boss uniques or something, and I had one of the bosses blocked, but it was the wrong boss because I didn't know how it was called. So that's how forgettable for me they are. Like, I think they are just throwaway garbage. That's how I felt about them. And to single one out about the throwaway garbage, the Dread, the guy with the roses, the one that's walks slowly, I think it's literally the worst design boss in PoE. And like Aziri, the boss designed 10 years ago, as the first real boss in the game, like Shaper, those are so much better bosses than this garbage. Yeah. It's like year 2025. It's like so bad. It's so bad. I hate it. So
you just not like the rose mechanic, like having to wait the 5 seconds for it to spawn, and then that whole thing.
It's just waiting. It's just waiting, and he just waddles around slowly, and you wait, and you have to wait for another rose and do nothing.
Yeah. They do no damage. They just have a bunch of life.
They do no damage. Yeah, it's just
they're just very poorly tested. I feel like.
Yeah, I don't.
The concept isn't even that bad. It's just like, as you said, it does not do enough damage, and then there's tons of. I mean, can we call them bugs? But like he walks really slowly towards the middle to start the next phase, right? Like that seems super untested and not polished. They could just make him teleport there or make him move faster, so it doesn't feel as clunky and weird out of place.
Yeah. I guess to your point,
I feel like the bugs, it's fixable.
Sure. Yeah. Well, we're gonna get, maybe not next league, but sometime we're gonna get Uber variations of them. So hopefully whenever those come out, they're gonna be
I hope
well-rounded.
Because I think like the mechanics of some of those bosses are like also very boring, like, especially the dread one. I don't know. I really don't vibe with the boss with like how the mechanics are, like, little balls they have to dodge. That like they are really like obscure mechanics as well. Like, from what I know, like if you don't pick up the rose instantly, you like get damage increases, and there's not indicated anywhere. Like so many bugs and.
Yeah,
I don't know. I just want to single out Dread because like I hate this boss so much. I think it's so bad in every way.
I feel like that about the fear one, the one with the balls where he throws the javelins. It seems like the hit detection for that just is almost non-existent. Like you could, when you stand between, because it's weird because this is the intended mechanic, but everyone else everyone just ignores it because it doesn't do anything, and you just do a bunch of damage anyway, and it hits like a wet pillow. So it's like, what's the point? But you're supposed to, he spawns these balls, the fire one, fear, and then you're supposed to stand between the ball and then the enemy where he throws a spear, and it's supposed to hit the thing, but it could just go right through it and it doesn't hit it sometimes, which is just like, okay, so I just took 30 seconds to try to do a mechanic for like, and it didn't even work, and then I could have just been DPSing this whole time. It just felt like I don't even know why it exists really. But aside from that, the bosses themselves and their arenas are the only original piece of content in, I believe, everything, because the Guardians are Cirrus, Sanctus Vox, and Innocence, which are just exist in the game and have for years. And
well, they heavily changed, especially the Innocence felt very different.
Well, every single attack,
the model is the same.
The model is the same. All the attacks come from other bosses. If you didn't realize, like they're just color inverted from different bosses. Like the wave is the exact same mechanical wave that Lycia Bedat does. It's just been color shifted, and then the beam exists on another boss. Can't remember what his name is, but they're all just mechanics from their bosses. They're added to the Guardian, so they become new fights, but they're just like that's reused. Like the actual originator mobs themselves also are just synthesis mobs that have been changed from blue to pink, and they do pink damage, whatever pink damage does.
And for what it's worth, the like those 3 map bosses that we just mentioned, those feel like are pretty well designed for the scope as well, just being map bosses.
Yeah,
I like those fights a lot, but the actual pinnacles, they don't feel noteworthy at all. They feel like, I don't know, more forgettable than Guardians even.
You get to access these 3 things in the chains from finding Egon, which he spawns in. He actually spawns in, but maybe it's not maps of every tier, but he could definitely spawn in yellow maps. I think I found him in white maps, but he could definitely spawn in yellow maps. And then you'll get a yellow chain, and then the final one will be the theater or whatever, will be 83. But did we ever figure out if there's actually a rhyme or reason for how he spawns? Because I've gotten back-to-backs, then I went like 200 maps dry, and it seems to be up in the air.
Just a chance to spawn when you enter the map. That's about it, really.
Yeah.
Like,
there's just nothing.
Sometimes
you
get dry strikes. Yeah. Get dry strikes, and sometimes you just get back to back. It's like,
yeah, that doesn't feel
a lot of conspiracy territories
about quantity. I've heard some ones about quantity somehow making a difference and whatever.
Nah, it's just random, small chance. Sometimes you just get unlucky.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fair. So, okay, so we overall unimpressed for the most part with the bosses. But the boss loot, you guys have gotten a chance definitely to experience, I would say, most of. I think you've all used a lot of the boss uniques, right? Which of them have you used? Which of them are you impressed with? Which of them are you not impressed with?
My main character, which I played, which is the meta trickster Smite Lightning Strike. I use the Amulet plus the ring, Solitaire with Whispers of Infinity. So that is really, really, really strong. I mean, it was designed to like work together, kind of, it seems. So it was kind of a no-brainer, The ring that gives you 225% attack speed and cast speed. That's pretty good.
It is.
With some drawbacks, obviously. It's like not completely free, but it's very good. And the Whispers is super nice because you can either reserve your entire mana, or like on an attack build, let's say, you can also like have an amazing uptime like on a Tincture, right? And Tincture is, as we know, extremely OP when it's up, and you can like extend it for so long. So very, very strong. Obviously, like a lot of ES from it. Like really easy to double craft as well. It's just very, very powerful item. And as we were saying before the podcast, probably maybe a bit strong, but I hope it doesn't get over nerd because it's a really fun item.
Yep.
I feel like those two items will not survive. Either they become way rarer, or they will see some nerfs. It's like they're way too dominant. I feel like there's no way they're gonna let those slip. But I mean, they're very fun, especially the ring having a huge amount of attack and cast speed makes so many builds feel fun.
Yeah,
that were clunky before. Probably my favorite item of the league.
Yep. Yeah, same. I don't think they need a massive nerf. Like I were discussing a little bit beforehand, but they seem like they're rife for GG to take a poop on. It's the kind of thing they will gut, but it requires, I would say, a scalpel, tactical, surgical nerfing that's gonna get the big old chainsaw. But they're definitely enjoy them. The speaking, since Whispers comes off of Legi's favorite boss, Incarnation of Dread, have you guys?
Oh yeah.
You messed at all with the Dark Monarch or the Seven Teachings? The other two more common drops from him, which is the helmet that doubles the minions, and then the unarmed thing.
I didn't manage to get the golem version of the helmet that I was thinking about like using on an elementalist of some kind of, because elementals rework was so successful. So like that, getting double golems is very powerful for like any build, right? So I didn't get that, unfortunately, but
you could do the primordial bond stacking, or what were you planning on?
Yeah, pretty much like just get a lot of golems, could get a lot of primordial bond, mediums or largest.
Then play any caster build in the game.
Caster or like even KB or something.
Yeah,
like that.
sure. I guess for those who don't know what we're talking about, there's a it says, what is it? What is the exact? Is it like 10% increased damage per golem? Or 12? What is it? What is the exact verbiage of the primordial bond?
I don't remember exactly, but it's like I think it's golem effect or like golem buff effect.
Let me see.
Something like that.
Cluster large.
I didn't really look into it like per se, because I know that's very good. I looked in some people.
It's 10% increased damage per summon golem, and that's per primordial bond per golem. So that's stacking out the ass, and then 40% increased effect. And the golems were buffed in such a way that they do crazy passives. Like, I mean, between covering your chaos res, your regen. Like, it's not crazy. I see we're crazy a lot, but it's not ridiculous to say on Elementalist you could have like thousands of life regen coming from a stone golem, or totally capped chaos res, or infinite mana and cast speed basically from storm golems. Like, it's such an absurd amount. So yeah, primordial bond plus golem.
I did not realize how OP that thing actually is.
Yeah, well, I think it's also because like
per golem too, and they have like 16 golems or something.
Yep, and then per primordial bond, and obviously megalomaniacs, and there's a lot of weird ways you can get.
Yeah, you can stack these like what?
You can have 3 larges. You can
cluster setups.
No, easily. Yeah, you can do as many as you want. I mean, it's one of those things where it becomes like clusters are already kind of, I don't want to say they're a mistake in the game, but it's definitely such a thing that the builds that can take advantage of them to the point where it's like. It becomes so much better than the tree point efficient wise for Elementalist if you're playing a build that could really utilize golems for the damage of the buff effect. That's like your tree is, aside from grabbing the core masteries or whatever keystones, it's like so flaccid compared to just being like, yeah, I could path over here, or I could just get more primordial bonds because they're just better, So that sort of shit's wild. The 7 teaching, the unarmed, you guys use that at all? The unarmed body thing?
No.
Did you get a good one at least?
It's way too hard to get a good one in SSF, so I didn't care enough.
Yeah, no, I haven't even gotten one I've gotten like 7 or something. I don't think I've gotten one that's past the even halfway mark of being what you'd need to be.
I have not even looked at them, to be honest. I dusted them instantly.
Oh.
But I mean, this is the league to play an unarmed build, though. The Mercenary that grants a lot of flat physical damage from the Warcry.
Yeah.
Would have been maybe the only league to really play it.
Yeah, it's a cool one. And then, have you both gotten wine or no?
I am missing it still.
Okay.
But might go back to farm it. League is still going on for quite a while.
Yeah, we're just halfway, not even, I don't think. And Manni, or Legi, you've got one, right?
Yeah, I'm using one on my kinetic blast character,
Yeah.
and it's really fun. There's like a lot of little things you can do with this character and with this item. Sorry, like
I'm missing it
little
too.
quirks.
I do want to use it.
W- w-
To you, I think you're the one who told me, or when we were talking about it previously, maybe in the DMs in our group chat or something. It's definitely not just like you can't just slap it on every build and it'd be like
Yeah,
totally worth using, but it's builds that do physical to LE conversion, I think are enough. Just that alone is enough that it hits most of the breakpoints. But for those who don't know, it does what it does is that you draw a divination card out of your ass that gives you a buff effect for 20 seconds. You can't scale it to the point where you could draw multiple cards. You have one card and it's 20 seconds. Like that's the non-negotiable part, right? And then you can't pick what you get, and a lot of them do things that are really, really good, but a lot of them do things that just might be totally irrelevant for you, which is, I guess you could, if you want to go crazy about it, you could basically add up the intrinsic value of every single one and then divide them by the amount of them that actually affect your build, and that's going to be its average, experience, whatever. So like the ones that gain 30% of life as ES, well, if you're CI, you have 1 life, so that does nothing, right? If you have an unwavering stance, maybe the evasion one, that does nothing. So there's a lot of them that do that, but a lot of them are just kind of generically quite strong. So which one do you think are really fun? Yeah.
Yeah, on average, there's a lot of good ones. So like you will probably get a buff that's like beneficial to you. It's the problem with that is obviously it's on a gold flask with like more charges, so you have to actually get a lot of charges fast to like even keep up the flask.
Yep.
Be good. But yeah, there's like stuff like 150 physics extra, like 50 or like 25 pen, fire pen from the burning blood buff, or I don't know, headhunter get double damage. There's a lot of like really good ones. And the one thing that I want to mention is like the quirk that I referred to is like when you get the Soul Eater buff from the flask, it's this card. I think it's Zerfi's hard card, the Soul Thief. It's at the bottom, I think.
Life Thief. Yeah.
So when you get that, Life Thief. Sorry, yeah. So when you draw that card, you get Soul Eater buff for 20 seconds. So it just you get the status of that. So like even if you draw a new card, you still keep the Soul Eater for 20 seconds. So like if you rotate the buffs really frequently and you sometimes get Soul Eater, you just get Soul Eater for 20 seconds, even though it's not active, right?
And I guess to your point, not only does it stay for 20 seconds, but also Soul Eater buffs don't just fall off immediately. I mean, they're going to linger for a little bit, right?
It will last 20 seconds. Like then it will,
so they don't even decay. It just after 20 seconds they're just gone.
Yeah, pretty much. That's how it works. But it's still like, if you rotate a lot of those buffs early, like through them up, like because that you're usually gonna put like, use on full charge on this flask. You sometimes get Soul Eater for free.
And to your point, I guess the Doctor card also giving you the Headhunter buff for 20 seconds should operate in the same function where it's
exactly
so you could draw the Doctor into Soul Eater and you will have both up then for 20 and then 19 seconds, I guess. Repeat.
Actually, Headhunter buffs are a minute buffs.
So the Headhunter buffs don't fall off, but the Soul Eater ones do.
No.
Well, that's interesting. Okay.
Yeah, so it's like little things that make this flask even like more interesting, but on average it's a very good flask.
Definitely seems like a very fun item, but it does seem a bit in opposition with how most people like to build their inevitable path build, which is about consistency, and it's like not the opposite of consistency, but it's it's not like a Mage Blood, type where it's like I have all my flasks up always, everything's 100%, there is no variations, I right click, it does the same thing. It's a little bit not that.
I mean, it's all offensive buffs, right? Pretty much all of them.
There's definitely a lot of defensive ones, like converting, taking damage as evasion, chaos. There's seems to be
it would still have a functional build without the flask. Not like you're going to rely on the buff, right? It's just a little cherry on top.
Oh, yeah, I don't think you're planning on any of this stuff, really. Unless, to Legi's point, unless there's some way to have it, you'd have to math it out, I guess. If you could somehow get enough flask up time that you could guarantee a card being drawn on average every X amount of time.
I guess you could do some pretty degenerate strats with this, where you click the flask until you hit the best damage mod, and then you start some fight.
So to your point, this is funny you mentioned that. I made a shrine stacking character this league that was super strong, but was really jank to use. It's basically just winding up the profit on a character because you have everything that has to do with shrines in maps with so your shrine atlas stuff affects it, and you end up being able to get about 3 shrines active at all times. Obviously, some of those shrines could be Echo, Acceleration, or Divine Shrine. So there was some scenarios where I was like creating some, unholy boss, and I was just sitting there waiting till I had like Divine Echo pop up, and then I walked in the fight.
On Guardian, you mean?
Yeah,
the passive
the new
shrines.
Guardian stuff. Yeah, so it was like with Gull, with Blunderbore, with Shrine stuff. That got like one of the more degenerate things I've ever seen was that when I was playing that build for mapping with every single shrine buff effect on you at once for the entire map constantly, and it was just super crazy looking. It started to break animations though because I was playing Spark of the Nova, and it just you would be attack or casting so fast the sparks weren't actually visibly spawning. It would just your screen would just start blinking on and off, which was funny. But it kind of reminds me of that, where like to your point of saying you could just sit there and wait until you draw like whatever. I'm not sure what all the card types are, but one of the ones that said you do double damage or something, and you could have an absurd amount of damage for 20 seconds compared to how you normally would. Or all crits or all hits.
I
or
guess
crits,
at the point where you have this class, the game is kind of trivialized already, anyways, because it's a pretty rare drop.
On average, yeah. So it's a 2% drop rate, and I believe it's the most expensive item from any of these bosses by a metric ton, aside from maybe like very specific Bound by Destinies. But I think it was over 100 divines or something. It was like to me, it was like an amount that wasn't really tethered to any reality of how like a priority on a build. This is like the last thing I would buy, But
it's like the luxury item you slap on top when you're done.
It's definitely not half as good as a Mage Blood because that's what's being priced at. But
nice thing about Mage Blood is that you can have a Unique Gold Flask for your Mage Blood build. No.
Oh, it's 160. This actually might be more than a Mage Blood then I guess in trade. That's crazy. But I get it.
People overvalue this item, definitely. It's a very strong item, but it's a bit overvalued, I would say.
Manny, do you know how many kills you're at on the Incarnation of Dread currently?
Sorry?
How many times have you killed the boss for the wine boss? That you haven't gotten it?
Between 80 to 90. I didn't count exactly, but judging from many of the other drops I have, it should be around
like 3 times the amount of I killed. And you haven't gotten it. That's a bummer. Yeah. That's a bummer. Well, okay, moving on from the Dread guy. For the Fear boss, he has the Servant to the Decay, the squid body. Have you guys used that at all?
No.
Okay. I tried using it.
I've seen a POB use it, though. It doesn't look half bad.
Well, so
usable.
In POB, it probably reflects as quite good. In reality, not so much, because these squids are made of dust. They die so fast. Like if they were immortal or quite tanky, but the void spawns die within. They get touched, they're dead. So the actual uptime of you having both those effects is like incredibly low. Which I don't know if it would be worth making them immortal, but maybe that'd be too strong or something. But it would be. Yeah, I tried using it. They poofed. Like a stray spark from a skeleton killed one of them. Like they're that squishy.
Maybe some certain scenarios.
Yeah.
Like Sanctum or bosses or something.
Oh sure. It
could be good.
It's good. I mean, it's good. It's 6% non-chaos as chaos per void. There's 4 voids. I did try to use. So there's a void spawn specter. It didn't count. I tried it because there's like you can get one of the ritual squids, right? There was like a perfect void spawn as one of them. And I was like, oh, maybe I could bypass the natural 4 you get from whatever the amount, but it didn't. It didn't give me more damage, unfortunately. So I guess it just doesn't let you bypass that. But it looks cool. One thing we didn't mention, I guess, is all these uniques do have art from what I've seen, which is nice. They all look very good. So
yeah, that's
really cool. Coiling Whispers we talked about, super good ring. Anyone get to mess with the Animity's Embrace, the fire stacking thing? I know there's a lot of really fun chieftain builds going around with that.
I was close to making a build. I POB'd it and all, but decided to make something else instead. I was thinking of playing an Explode Blade Vortex build.
Like Herald of Ash and stuff?
Well, fire conversion, yeah, fist to fire conversion, which will also convert the explosions to fire damage, right? And those would then inherit the 200% penetration as well, making some really powerful explosions.
Nice.
But yeah, we went for a different setup instead of the honest prototype because that's hard to beat. But very, very good ring for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, you see it in all kinds of builds. It's one of the better uniques for sure.
Yeah. Legi, I know you were playing Volcanic Fissure, right, on League launch? Did you get a chance to mess with this?
No, I didn't get it fast enough before I rerolled to a good build. So
Is that implying Volcanic Fissure is not a good build? I played it also. It just feels like a slam build. I think it's really overhyped. It's good. It's just it didn't feel like
it's a slam build. It's a slam build. It's it has its benefits and very glaring weaknesses.
You like pushing 4 buttons every 2 seconds.
It's not about that. Like you barely push any buttons. Like it's very automated with like automating work rate. It's not a problem about that. It's more like my biggest problem with that build was just how you progress into your 8 mod maps. That build doesn't handle 8 mod maps very well in softcore settings. So
yeah,
you have to like reroll a lot of things. You have to
trouble with
defenses be careful.
Or what? Did you end up going suppression?
I didn't end up going suppression. I was like I didn't want to bother with it, and then kind of suffered through it. So it's kind of my fault, but yeah,
it did seem like a lot of the builds
didn't enjoy it that much.
Inevitably had, like from what I've seen of the people playing Volcanic Fissure, they started whatever the standard, either precise or RT, some sort of like that, and then they transitioned either into Shaper Helm, which was this, I would say, the normal route previously, but this league you had the infamous modifier on Mercenaries to get the base crit per war cry, and that build, depending on how you set it up, can use 4 to 7 war cries, which is like an absurd amount of base crit. So some of them were going crit, and others were going the Anemone's Embrace route. But most of them I saw the end game went suppression, but that does make crafting gear quite tight.
Well, I don't think you have to choose between. Like I've seen people go the crit helmet and do Anemone's Embrace.
Sure. And
I've seen the build scale absurd amount of damage, but yeah, scaling the defenses is pretty rough. Like you said, you're gonna have no block, no evasion, and you're gonna just get smashed by every mob. So it's pretty rough to survive these really juiced up maps with tons of damage mods on them.
Yeah.
What ends up happening is like you have to scale so much damage you just freaking one-shot everything, or like freeze it with yoke, convert to cold.
Yeah.
And it ends up being like that. But I didn't get there, and I was like not really.
It just didn't feel like the juice was worth the squeeze compared to just playing a yoke trickster.
Yeah, exactly. I just wanted to play trickster. I knew I wanted to play a trickster, so I didn't really like bother. So I was like, on the way out anyway. And I also hit a perfect ephemeral edge like really early. So I was like,
it was RT and what? You had something else, right? You double corrupted it.
I hit RT with perfect dark speed and on a perfect ES roll as well.
That was one of your first double corrupts?
It was like second or third.
God damn. Yeah, I mean that's pretty good.
So it's really lucky.
That's hard to beat that. The Manni, what was your starter build again? Oh, you played the Trapper, right?
Yeah, an Exile Miner.
Oh, Miner, sorry.
Exile and Reap both. Like they're basically the same scaling, so you just swap the gem. Reap is better for bossing, while Exsanguinate has some very good clear, especially since
it's so fun to clear with that.
Yeah. Did you see it with the chain gloves yet?
Yeah, the glove mod. Yeah. That's
the
it's like free awakened chains.
2 additional chains.
Yeah, it's great.
So yeah, you basically don't have to use a chain support, so no longer use a support that has no damage
huge
on it.
Damage, yeah.
So you have huge damage and it clears the entire screen.
Exsanguinate is definitely one of the more satisfying. I mean, people used it, I guess, a lot in Deerstalkers previously on like seismic builds as supplemental clear, but it's just such a satisfying skill.
Yeah, it's a bit like Arc, right? It's just you see chain for everything and everything falls over. It's great.
But it also it's life based, which I think is a really nice alleviation of pressure in a lot of ways that some of those builds have issues, like a little bit annoying on the mana front. So getting to use the life portion of it, I think is just a little bit comfy.
Blood magic on this skill is kind of nice. Yeah.
Yep. And then for single target, you were swapping in Reap basically for bossing and in place of Exsanguinate.
Yeah, exactly. It's just a 1-for-1 gem swap. Reap has this nice thing where you get these you get blood charges when Reap hits an enemy, and when you kill an enemy, you lose all the charges.
Yep.
But on a boss fight, you don't kill anything, right? So they just ramp up, and you end up with 5 or up to 9 even while doing Wild Reap. It increases the max for a couple seconds.
Yep.
And each of them gives you like 15% more damage, so
Huge,
you actually
yeah.
hit pretty damn hard.
And you were doing cold conversion, right? Like physical to cold conversion?
The default build is cold conversion. However, with the honest prototype on the Mercenaries this league, I happened to get one in the first week, and then swapped to a lightning conversion setup instead. And yeah, the damage like tripled or quadrupled or something, and I was pretty stupid after that.
What was the process of swapping to? So for cold, you could obviously just swap on Hrim Sorrows early on, and then eventually do some tree plus Watcher's Eye plus glove shenanigans. Is it for lightning? How did you go about converting the damage?
It's the same, really. You don't need a Watcher's Eye. You have 40% on a mastery, and then 60% on well-crafted gloves. Right, if you have a rank 4 implicit plus plus an unveiled mod. So the conversion is not that hard to figure out, like once you're at that point. I did happen to get a cold conversion Watcher's Eye on my first Elder kill, the one that gave me the Atlas progression.
Yeah.
It dropped me a Hatred conversion Watcher's Eye while I was playing a Hatred conversion build. That was pretty cool.
Hard to beat that. Very nice. Back to the boss thing. The other thing we didn't talk about is the 2% drop off of Incarnation of Fear's Starcaller, the axe, which is kind of like the Mahu's the meatball axe, but just like
a bit of a meme.
I saw a bunch of champion builds that were getting some good numbers, but it was one of those things where if these same builds just put on a one hand and if they slapped on a paradox against smited, they would be doing 4 times the damage and have a shield. So it's kind of like you're just forcing the meme, which is it's fine, but it's just the love of making super rare shit weapons has never stopped.
Yeah, it's a shame, really. It's like a build that is only enabled by this weapon, right? As you said, similar to Nahamu X.
Yep.
And it's just, I don't know why they don't just buff the numbers a little. Like, what are they so afraid of?
I could just make it level 30 Starfall and it probably would be fine. I mean, or whatever that amount of scaling would be. There's some cool things you could do because it's supported by on the weapons. You could do all the things that have like unlinked weapons for rune graphs and any of that sort of stuff is you could take advantage of. But yeah, it just again it seems like it's being forced because there's so many better routes you could take for a similar setup. Do you have this one, Manni and Legi? You both have it?
No.
No? Okay.
I got it as my last one. I actually got really average RG on like everything. Except I think the wine I got pretty lucky, but like Starcaller I was like 50 something kills and then the staff was like 50 something kills.
Nice.
It was like very average, which I'm happy about.
Yeah, I'm also missing the X.
For me it's been the loneliness guy, the one we haven't talked about yet.
Neglect?
I finished that guy in less than 5 kills.
What?
I got really lucky on that guy. I got
the staff. The staff is the rarest thing this league from all these bosses. It's even rarer than the other two.
I got the staff on like the 3rd kill maybe or so.
Jeez.
I didn't even know it was rare. But the other 2 have been a problem for me. I've killed over like 80 to 90 times now, but haven't gotten the red drop yet. But
and
maybe
before we talk about the Incarnation of Neglect, the process for finding Eons do this is you're just popping in a map that has an open layout. You could loop fast like a dunes. You just run to the middle and then just no Egon.
Yeah, if you're target farming it, exactly. Yeah. You take a canyon or a dunes or a mesa and just try to explore the map as fast as possible, stack movement speed. It's very...
There's 4 nodes, right? There's 4 small nodes, there's 4 small 10% ones to just increase generic tier rate. So if you were in SSF, similar to how we would do it for like unique collecting, you would grab all 4 of these, and then the second you got the rare drop from any of the bosses, you would probably grab the notable that reduces the chance of that boss spawning.
Yeah, exactly.
And repeat that process until you have them all. Just for people who don't know, because I've seen a lot of people are on the fence or don't realize this, but these reduce the rate, not increase the rate. Because I've seen a lot of people who are like trying to get wine and have the node allocated, be like, yeah, I've got the thing that makes it more likely, and it's like, please read it because it doesn't say increased, it says reduced. So if you want, just red, you put both the other nodes in to increase it or to decrease. Yeah. So just make sure you read what those do. But back to the Incarnation of Neglect, the one you said you finished in 0.4 seconds. So it has 4 uniques. The most common one is the Steel Ring Betrayal Sting. Also, as I guess an aside, most of these new uniques are on Atlas spaces we've never had before. Like a lot of things like, Astrolabes or Sea Glass things. Like we just haven't had uniques in these spaces, so it's kind of cool that we're getting uniques on these bases. And which is cool because most of the bases are better, right? Because they're like, I guess, quote unquote, higher tier bases. But with that comes the annoyance that a lot of these fucking things are like level 80, 83, 84 to equip. So you don't get to use them for a lot of your leveling process, So if you're using like the helmet for the double golems, that thing's level 84. It's a circlet. So you can't get to use it for a little bit of time. But Aside
Yeah,
from
that's
that,
my like number one rant in general with these new bases. Making a second character is so unnecessarily annoying now.
yeah,
Having to wait to like level 84 until you can actually use your items, and then
yeah,
you just have to do some placeholder leveling. In trade, you could just hop into like a couple Breachstone carries or
Breachstones,
whatever,
yeah,
right? But
yeah.
in SSF, it's just like annoying, but
You know,
not hard to overcome. It's just annoying.
the other drop from there, aside from that steel ring, is the belt is level 16, so that's super low level. You know.
That's exactly when you unlock skitterbots, right? That's pretty cool.
Yeah, so it's I've heard a lot of mixed messages about this belt. So first off, it has mana reservation on the belt, so it's immediately used by many people doing Aurabot setups because that doesn't exist. So any way to get more mana reservation is already kind of cool. And it scales up the ailment effects by summon skitterbots, but apparently the scorching bot that it summons on top of the skitterbot thing. First off, it doesn't pull your microtransaction, which I've heard, which is a really funny complaint. So you get like your two void worms, and then you know whatever that one is, and then it just like the other one's just like a normal little bot, and then also it has some issues with tracking and like it kind of moves weird. So I've heard a lot of complaints about actually using it, but it's about with mana reservation, so immediately it has value. Therefore, the other thing, which is actually the second rarest drop, I believe, off the bosses, because I think the Ebony Ring is 10%. The Astrolabe is 9.5% drop rate estimated. And, it's an Astrolabe, so that's already a meme, because Astrolabe. But this thing's actually super powerful if you can get it online, I think. So
Yeah,
definitely
I'm
underrated.
really excited about this item. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I looked at this item and I was like, oh, this actually is very strong if you can get it going. Like, the conflux stuff is really powerful. I really like this item.
So
I've basically
think it's
called
very
this
underrated.
item yoke for spells.
yes,
Is what I would call this.
Yeah, definitely big yoke vibes. Yeah. Yeah, so it
Like the main advantage is making everything shock, right? But then you also get plus 3 levels, which for spells is a huge deal.
And supports, yeah, because Awakened Gems gaining 3 supports is a lot, honestly, for some of them. Like Awakened Added Lightning, for example. It doesn't say non-exceptional,
Sure.
so a lot of them have quite good scaling. Even the downside, I guess, is the prerequisite is you have to have 6 influence types among other equipped items. So it's
really not that bad.
No, and it's not a coincidence this comes out the same time that we get the crafting bench update where you could scour chance things with a button thousands per second, easily by just unlocking your mouse wheel and scrolling down. So it's like everyone can make, the worst part is you have to get awaken orbs and stuff, things like that if you're trying to make specific items. But there's a lot of uniques that are really used at the moment that are not particularly rare. I mean, at the moment, like I'm not the same thing, but on my Frost character, I'm using Malachi's Loop. It's like the only harmonic kite, and it's not hard to scour chance one. So anything that's like tier 3 or below, it's very much in the wheelhouse to use if you're trying to get specific uniques, but also just like it's not hard to just slam influence on rares, and a lot of rares are quite good that are being used in general. So getting 6 is not that crazy. It's definitely doable.
Yeah, I mean, especially since rings, amulets, and the shield, or the weapon slot too, I guess the belt also, in those slots, you don't have a downside of using influence items, right? I can craft a life resist belt or ring, and I can just use a double influence space to begin with, and then I don't have to use any influence mods and just to enable this item.
Yep.
Like, it's really easy to fit this in.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing is also like you can like shock ignite with chaos damage with this. If I understand it correctly, right, with elemental conflux. Or am I understanding this wrong? Because like that's
all hits from any damage type.
Yes,
it's all hits from any damage type.
So like you can do some like obliteration stuff, and that can shock ignite and just put it on non-elementals as well. So.
Yep. Yeah, Conflux is super, super strong. It was previously, I would say, only really acquired through, aside from the Elementalist memes, Leadership's Price was the other way that it was typically gained, but that was a different kind of Conflux. That was the alt Conflux.
The alternative.
Which is cool itself. I wish there's no way you can't use Venariuses with interrogation to make them flip, can you? To do like the alt ones?
No.
Okay. That'd be kind of cool if you could.
But still, like I think it's extremely powerful underused item that I think people should use more. Like it's annoying to set up, but I think it's good.
It's not that annoying considering there are a lot of really, really strong uniques like we talked about, like Obliteration, like you just mentioned, that you could really easily scour chance obliterate. I mean, or use the bench to get a multi obliteration, and then you could do something similar with an offhand. There's like a lot of uniques that are just tier 3 and below that are kind of like on the fence items, but like totally usable items that people just don't use that you could make amendments for. Even things like, I'm not the case just because I saw my Merc had one on, but like if you didn't have on boots, you could using like rainbow strides for boots or whatever. There's like a lot of mediocre kind of uniques that are just fine to use if you had to as an interim for multi things. So the worst part's getting fucking Awaken Orbs, honestly. I hate that. I've had such terrible luck with that this league to try to get multi-influence things. But there's also, so the Manni mentioned the staff because he was handed it to him on a silver platter. It is the rarest drop from the expansion from the bosses, and
is it really?
Yep, it's being capped. It's so. I mean, we only have select numbers from like a couple thousands of each people things being aggregated into the wiki, but it's being posited at 1.5%. It was initially on launch assumed to be at 0.5%, which was depressing, but this is a little bit better. But it has a really funny thing where it makes a little baby shaper that does things, slams, beams, balls, I believe.
Yeah, it has 3 different variants.
Yep.
I think I had the ball variant.
So dividing it changes the variant, and it changes the 3 to 5, which is the part that sucks. So like if you don't want to not have +5 all spells, right? So you have to then if you really really wanted one variant, you'd have to divine it to be the type you want and the +5, which would be a little bit of a bummer. Yeah, the wiki does confirm that divine can reuse which skill the shaper uses. It seems really funny.
The fact that it has +5 and 40 cards, it makes it almost competitive to actually use. You're not like completely gimping your weapon slot. You're still getting basically a normal weapon worth of damage almost.
The biggest downside, I think, is you're forced into Eldritch Battery, which is not necessarily a horrendous thing.
It's not a downside.
No, but it is just a thing, though. It's like, it just means you can't go CI, you can't go Whispers, right, if you're using Eldritch Battery. I guess you could. You'd be...
Whispers and Eldritch, it's basically the same thing, right? There's not really much reason to stack it, but doesn't stop you from stacking it.
Now, it does even mention that Whispers converts all skills costs into ES, and then, which would effectively make things like your Corrupting Fever cost ES instead. And things talking about March of Legion you could use with Divine Blessing and EB in similar ways. It's a funny item. I mean, I'd love to use it. So hopefully, if I get one this week, I would make something. What would you like? What sort of? I mean, we talked about Elementalist earlier. I feel like you could just play any caster with this staff and Golem helmet and just have a bunch of Primordial Bonds, and it probably would be not terrible.
Yeah, my first thought when I saw this was Inquisitor to actually use Battle Mage, because the stuff is a decent amount of physical damage. And
yeah, that's a good point.
The Eldritch Battery makes a lot of sense when you have all the DS region.
Yep.
So you can easily sustain. Probably still go Mom even.
Which would you I guess you could use your 6-link in a body, and then you could also just support the.
Oh yeah, for sure. You can 6-link the Shaper Ball.
And then you only have to link it. You could use it unlinked, and you could use the Rune Graft for increased damage with unlinked things.
Crazy.
Yeah.
And you can save some few things.
Wow. Which of the 3 would you rather use? The slam, the beam, or the balls? Because I think the beam is funniest. Just to have big old Shaper beam.
I think the balls is the most usable one if you actually wanted to build around it.
It's
good. It's a spell hit, so it's probably what you're scaling with anyway.
It's basically echoed with Pierce. So, and it says 200% cold pen built in the balls.
It does some pretty solid damage. Yeah.
It seems funny. I like the beam.
You do have to cast 10 times, right, to get these 10 stacks.
You gain 1 stack when you spend a total of 200 ES, and you trigger it.
You can't get more than 1 stack per cast, I believe.
I don't know. Yeah, I guess not. You'd have to probably. It'd be definitely a thing to build around. I mean, you'd have to really go into it.
Yeah, I think you would aim for a 200 ES core spell and then cast it as often as fast as possible to get those consistently.
Yeah.
Or maybe aim for like 100 mana cost so that 20 casts would, some kind of breakpoint like that.
Chat's saying if you spend 2k ES, you get 10 stacks instantly. So there's no ICD.
Wait, really? Because I remember when I got this, I was reading about this stuff, and I was reading the opposite of that, that you will have to cast at least 10 times. But I guess that was wrong. I haven't really looked
Oh
at
no,
the
it says in the
stats
wiki.
since
It
then.
says unlike other similarly worded stats, it is possible to gain multiple stacks on a single skill use.
Okay.
See, then
So it was
you could
actually
just
a
corrupting
surprise.
fever and immediately spawn Shaper with whispers on, because that makes you
But it's
spend
just a corrupting
2,000.
fever build then. You just spam corrupting fever and
Well, no, well, you don't even have to
constantly
use. You could just
spam.
use. Yeah, I'm saying you could just use corrupting fever just to trigger it instantly to have a Shaper in
Does
one
that have
click.
a cooldown though?
Corrupting fever? 1 second.
No, well, I meant the Shaper spawning.
I don't see anything.
I don't think there's a cooldown, right? Because the generating 10 charges is basically the pseudo cooldown of it.
Is there any way? Are you limited to 1? If you just you keep doing it and get multiple, like you're doing a map that has rare mobs of Shaper spawns, you can get like 4 or 5 Shapers in a map at a time.
Maybe you have to wait for its animation to end before you can respawn it, basically.
It's like the most jank minion build ever. Just becomes absolute shit running around corrupting fevering with the whispers on, trying to get a Shaper to target the right thing.
I mean, wouldn't call it a minion, more like a totem, right?
Yeah,
Still dealing damage yourself.
it's true. It's
And this is just an
technically
extra-
a memory.
It's kind
Whatever
of like a
that
Shaper
means.
totem that spawns every now and then to
What
do
does it
some extra
classify
damage.
as? Can use your Shaper skill 1 time. He has 100% effective added damage across the board. Cast time 1 second. Shaper memory. Just too new. Well, anyway, that's that.
It's definitely one of the most creative items we've seen in a while. It's very cool.
Yeah, it's a very unique.
Now, is it actually viable and good? Probably not, but
Well, you can
definitely cool
get
to
to
experiment
100.
with.
You could slap it on, and people will think you have a build with it. That's how PoE Ninja works. All right, so I think we talked mostly about everything from the base drops. Let's talk about Bound by Destiny, because we talked previously about how they did the new update to the scour chancing and led people to using a lot of influence items, and a lot of, I'd say, a reason for that is because of this jewel, what it does, what it has. It is supposed to be a 10% drop, although for me it is not, but it is supposed to be a 10% drop. I've only gotten 2 and over 100 kills, but it's it has a bunch of different random rolls. I guess it's kind of like a Watcher's Eye, but like a Shaper's Eye, you know?
Yeah.
It has 3 different plateaus of influence. It could roll the same influence on all of them, right? Like it could roll Hunter. No, so it has to be always different ones.
Yes.
Okay.
Correct.
So 3. So when it says 2 random influences, it's not. I guess not the most accurate thing. 2 random influences, non-repeating. Can't roll more than 1 modifier of the same type. It says on the wiki, but not on the item. But it, having 2 Shaper things enables the 2 Shaper things, and so on and so forth. But are you guys using any of them in your builds? I know Legi you were trying to farm a very specific one, right?
Yes, I was trying to get the end stacking one for my trickster, and I'm using this exact. I got it at the end, and I'm using it on an Omni build right now, which is obviously percent stats translate to percent Omni, right? So I'm using one for. I will be using one for trickster, and I will be using one for the Omni Wonder Scion that I'm playing.
So you have 2 Crusader items is getting you 15% in. What are the 2 Crusader items you're using?
I'm using an Explode chest, and I Scour chanced a Gull. So I have a Crusader Gull.
Damn.
I spent a couple thousand Scour chance and could not hit a Gull.
Yeah, it spent like I think 8,000 Scour chances, and I consider it lucky.
That is lucky, I believe, because Gull's a
8,000.
tier 2 unique.
Yeah, 8,000.
And I think the tier 2 bracket is between like 10 and 30 for a specific. It's obviously estimated, but it's like pretty brutal. Thankfully, it's a single base item, so at least when you hit it, you hit it. How about yourself, Manni?
I was well, sorry to like
you're good.
cut you off, but I also try to chance Chevron's Revelation. That didn't go too well. Let's put it that way.
Shavs is also
that's the
tier
same
2, I
rarity,
think.
right?
Yeah, it should be.
Yeah, same rarity.
Yeah, I was trying to do that for Calm's Heart as well. I have one that's because also for the enchantment, trying to get the percent life. I got that from Tailoring Orb, Tempering Orb, because you can't use it on a Calm's after the fact since it has no sockets. It can't be used. So trying to get that, and I haven't gotten it yet, but it's going to probably become a perfidy, and I can unimprint it. But sadness, it's hard, it's rough. Which were you using one, Manni?
I did use one for a while, yeah. I had a champion Wander that was stacking frenzies to get 45 from Replica Badge.
Yep.
And I did get a +1 frenzy for 6 redeemer items. So
Oh
I
God.
crafted my entire set of gear of influence. It was probably not worth it all in the
Yeah.
end. The opportunity cost is pretty high for one extra fortify, but it had to be done.
The
And,
Nice.
do you have the gloves? The what are they called?
I have those fortify gloves. That's why I
Yeah.
made the character. I got those kind of luckily on my
Okay.
first.
So you
Exile
got that, and
session.
then you're like, that's the heart. Did you be using Endurance Relicash?
No.
Okay, so but you got replica
I'm
badge.
not a slayer, right? I'm a champion, so I don't have this like.
Oh, you're right.
Frenzy
Yes, you're
equals
right.
endurance.
You're right.
I just
So-
get a. Well,
yeah.
I have replica badge, so it does
Yeah.
the same thing. But I
Yeah.
just get my endurance charges normally.
So Celestial Grip, that's what it's called. The I kind of was in a similar boat. I didn't do it, but it was I wanted to play some sort of champion, but I haven't gotten the gloves. And I kind of feel like if I don't get the gloves, I'm just not gonna play one.
I mean, I thought the same thing, but after playing it, I feel like the gloves were kind of bait. At least for the Wanda archetype that I'm playing on it.
Yeah.
Maybe on a melee build it makes more sense, but the opportunity cost of using the unique gloves in a Wanda means you never have rage. The gloves are the only place to get rage.
Yeah.
And rage is a huge multiplier.
I was
right?
debating using Admiral gloves instead, which are they give you that's rage and a bunch of other stuff as well. Those are pretty decent. I like those.
Yeah, on a melee build you can get rage on the tree as well, right? But
yeah.
On a Wanda you have to get it on the gloves. So I just give up the rage, which is probably not really worth.
Yeah.
Also, the attack speed on that build is so freaking high. When you stack a lot of fortify and you get like the attack speed from the gloves per fortify you have, the attack speed is so high that the game just kind of dies when you KB too much. Or when you click like a speed
I guess
or something on top.
if you're playing melee, you could probably just set up a whisper thing, and then you'll just have Soul Eater anyway. So it's like, you don't really need the gloves then. I mostly because I just got an Awakened multi-strike, and I was like looking for something to use them on because it feels bad to have an Awakened multi and not use it. And then I was thinking champion something, but I didn't have the gloves. I do have replica badges. I've got like 3 replica badges, but unsure. Not sure what's out there.
I do like Bound by Destiny a lot, though. I feel like it's a very, very fun item because it makes it just draws the game out, right? More things to do. Craft some special influence items, new goals.
A higher ceiling.
And there's some really
for
powerful
MFing.
ones like the 15% attributes on any attribute stacker. That's a no-brainer to use, right? Or the 20% cooldown for any cooldown related build.
Sure.
The +1 charges for any charge stacker.
I like the Hunter one also. The every 4 seconds regen 35% of your life seems.
Yeah, I had that as a random one on my Frenzy one.
Yeah, that's
so
nice.
I enabled that one as well, which is kind of cool.
Do you think that the 2 influence slots are maybe too strong, or I think it's kind of like you allocate the point and put forth the effort to the 2s, and if you really want to start min-maxing, you look at the 4s and the 6s. Like the 2s are the basic
the 2s are very easy to fit in, but you're still sacrificing a jewel for it, which is barely worth it if you're not... Like a lot of these are not really that good, right?
Yeah. Like unaffected by chill or whatever, blind.
Maybe the Pierce on some Spark builds. Some of them are worth the jewel socket, but a lot of them aren't, right?
Yeah.
Like I'm not going to use a jewel socket for nearby enemies that are unnerved. And
Why
use
not?
2 elder items.
You gotta get spook them around you, you know? you gotta make them nervous.
Like the coolest part is how there's so many different combinations, and you can like obviously each jewel has 3 mods, right? So you try to fit them all in. If you're going for the 6 anyway, then you're gonna go for the 4 and the 2 for free, right?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
If you're using 6 influence items, they both have double influence, so you get the 4 and the 2 for free, really.
Yeah.
Almost for free.
Yes, on the road to 6 is paved by 2s and 4s. Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, for sure. No, that's a good point. It definitely it promotes a deeper investment of the build, a different routing even, because then of course especially for SSF, you're like, then it's like, all right, so I'm going to be, doing Cirrus. I'm going to be maybe even changing my filter to show things like I would have not necessarily be showing influence Raven masks, right? To Legi's point of viewing, you making a goal, but now I would definitely do it because that might save me a Warlord orb or whatever, And you could always then, because for Awaken Orbs, especially item A, if you're Awaken Orbing, it doesn't have to be the type you're using because that's the one getting destroyed. So it lets you do a lot of maybe like different routing. It's kind of fun. So we talked about the incarnation. Anything else, Legi? You were saying something?
Yeah, I would say that this item is like amazing for trade league, for example. Like for SSF is cool. You can like make some project, but for trade league, it enables so many like minimaxing options. Like
Sure.
you can get your like very OP influence uniques and like go for the force 4-set bonus. Like some of those 4-set ones are really, really strong. So like for SF, it's okay, but like for trading it's extremely amazing item, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I guess to your point, it also like so a lot of trade league min maxing. Not to dive too deep, but it's about like you're ticking every single box that theoretically exists, and what's the most effective way to do that. So, to you mentioning the 4-1, someone then says like can't take reflected elemental damage. So if you're not a build that could use Awaken Wed, right? Then maybe you were getting reflect on like, I mean, maybe on Jewels or having forced to pick up Ugul, the Pantheon to do that. So something like that can alleviate a lot of pressure and now unlocks your Pantheon, which then maybe says, oh, now if I could use my Pantheon, I don't need to have a poison ring, so I could use a different implicit, and there it just goes to what these theoretical routes just go.
Well, some of those, well, the one that you mentioned is kind of whatever, honestly. But like there's stuff like base crit, like elemental as chaos on a CI build, take less elemental damage, like max block. Like some of those are really, really powerful in that set if you can fit it in, like as additional thing through, like the crafting bench or something like that, chancing.
A lot of the defensive ones, though, are in a way returned power from like 1 league ago, because we used to have more Fizz taken as and more different ways taken as previously on both Watcher's Eyes and a lot of the places for Eater Exarch implicit. So in a way, this is like getting them back, which is typically something we do. It's like what the inverse of borrowed power is return power,
Funny how they removed the taken as, because it was too dominant. There were too many different sources of it. So now they give us a new source. Just
that's the ebb and flow. That's the
classic PoE approach.
Yeah. We talked a little bit about the how to get to incarnation through the Egon and stuff. We didn't really talk about originator maps, which for me is just mapping now. My biggest gripe about 17s previously, the only real complaint I have, aside from like how you craft them, whatever, but my biggest complaint is that when I'm doing 17s, I can't drop 17s. So I just can't stay in 17s. I have to go do other things to get back to 17s. When they added 16.5s, for me, this is just mapping now, because 16.5s drop 16.5s. So I don't have to ever leave. And I never will leave, because they're just better than 16s, and it's less annoying than 17s, but not that much worse, in my opinion, that it isn't just... doesn't offset the annoyance of being in 17s. Like, you still have to get Uber Fragments, still have to get those uniques, so that's fine, but if I'm mapping, I'm just staying in 16.5s now. What are your guys' thoughts on 16.5s as far as how they're crafted, their supply, demand, whatever? Legi, let me know what you think.
It's a very interesting topic to talk about, like, how they approach the endgame mapping, because like I think the 16.5's originator maps are very good for the game. Like that's kind of what PoE needed, because 17s are, the layouts are not very fun. Like they're not great. And I think, the idea that you can choose your layout for your strat and it drops a lot of them, and you can like sustain them and stuff, it's extremely good and extremely like revitalizing for the like endgame mapping experience. So I really like them, but one thing I want to mention is like it's kind of a band-aid in a sense, even though they are super nice, super great, and I think they strike a really good balance with implementing them. Like the Scout in the Closet is the multiplier still. Like I think that's we are still paying for the problems and the tribulations of T17 still with the system, so they are trying to somewhat fix it. But I think it's a step in the very right direction. So I really like them. So they're very good.
When you mention they're a problem, you mean that they're too powerful when they can roll like things like 300% currency, and that becomes like a mandatory interaction to, if I'm requiring currency, like not rolling those maps makes it feel worse, or it's too powerful, or what?
Kind of, right? Because like what game becomes at some points, like you play normal maps, then you go into those originator maps, and there's no incentive to run any other thing, because you just run multiplier maps that drop infinite amount of loot than anything else. Which you can say it's a good thing, because we have like clear progression through like Atlas progression to normal mapping to 8-man mapping to originator maps and 17s, which is you can say it's good, but like I feel like like the base loot of the game is like so bound to like those multipliers in those maps that it's like really weird how like the base loot of PoE feels, because you just get more loot through the multipliers.
Yeah.
And it's like very, very weird feeling in some way. But for what they are, I think they're extremely good. So I'm really happy that we have them.
Manny, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean the loot is absolutely insane in them. Like the power creep levels of rewards is kind of out of control. I mean, I don't know if it's really a bad thing. It's definitely fun. The bad part is on GG, right? They have to figure out how to go from here, where to go from here, and like the fact that people can sit down and say, I'm going to farm a mirror now, and it takes like a couple days only or something on average. Like that's kind of insane, right? How much currency drops in those maps or whatever you're going for.
Yeah. Well, I guess that's
overall.
Do you think it's a problem? You think it's just the evolution of the game through trade, right? Like, you think is it okay if the value of the mirror? Because if that you're describing, what you're describing, is that an experience that a veteran player is going to interact with, or is that something that someone who comes home and isn't a noob but like only gets to play an hour to a night, is that something that they're going to be doing?
I mean, everyone's getting more loot in them, right? That's for everyone. I'm just saying it inflated the total loot so much that the developers are going to have a problem now, like containing this power creep, I think, in the future.
Yeah.
Not really a problem that we have. Like, we're enjoying it. We're having fun.
Well, so we haven't really talked about risk Arabs, and before we even do, I would say that the overall problem with trying to even identify what the issue is with something like this is we know that they changed the IQIR formula, and we have mercs which are adding 0.5 player IQ, and they've also added risk Arabs are more prevalent, and there's 16.5s with how that currency scaling works, etc. So there's like 50 different ingredients have been added to this soup. How do we know which one tastes bad? How do you even begin to identify which of these things is the problem? If you remove risk Arabs next league, does it alleviate a lot of the problem with this? If you remove 16.5s, is that the issue? If mercs are gone, will it even feel as bad if they change IQIR again? So, but like, it just seems like it's almost a pointless thing to try to even begin balancing when you can't even really pinpoint what the problem is, because there's just been like 4 or 5 changes that have affect this, right?
For me, like just balancing through, this X map drops, 500% more currency feels like very weird and cheap, and like the value is like all other content in a sense, which, the counterpoint is like a nice progression curve through going through those non-multiplier maps, those giga multiplier maps where all the loot is, and that you want to be there. So I think maybe it's just my experience of the game, because for me it feels like you kill white monsters, blue monsters, even rare monsters, normal maps, and they drop absolutely fucking nothing. Yeah, they just drop nothing, and you go into that map and it's like you kill the same monster and it drops like everything, and it's kind of the same monster. So right?
When reaching the values of 500% currency, is that even possible without a merc or without risk Arabs?
I mean, I'm exaggerating it, but like you
well,
can
but even if you're
like 200,
whatever the value is, yeah. But how much of that? Like, what part of the problem is that? Is that the role exists? If you just removed that specified currency role and had all of it applied a generic quantity that then just gets dealt out the back, like, does that resolve it?
No, I mean the problem is on kind of on the developers. I feel like, because like they would need to rebalance loot everywhere, and like it feels like it's kind of in weird state in my opinion. For at the moment,
if I could make a wish on this, I would probably have them like half the multipliers on these 17 mods.
Yeah.
Instead of 100% more currency, make it just 50. But then buff the baseline loot everywhere, kind of to compensate.
Yeah.
That those maps will drop the same,
so.
But the other maps drop a bit more. Because it does feel like, even in 8 mod maps, I feel like I'm running a white map when I just came from like a 16.5 session, right?
Yeah, like a corrupted
even though my map has
saying.
200 quant or something, I have a corrupted 8 mod map, but it drops basically no loot. There's nothing on my filter, because my filter was just fine-tuned for the 16.5s map that they dropped 100 chaos raw on the floor.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly my biggest problem with like how loot is right now, which I think is just the T17's baggage that we got at some point. And it's like
the inverse, I guess, to this.
Something about.
So Manny's mentioning dropping 100. I'm using numbers. You're saying not to hold them against you just because they're the examples we're talking about. But say you run a currency map that drops 100 raw chaos. How much have you invested into this map, though, to run it? Because I think that's something that's not being thought of as much. I would say on average, a lot of people I think
chaos into it, right? I mean, maybe I rolled for like 20 or 30 chaos orbs, but
well, that's one fifth of your chaos profit now. You just invested, so is that a problem? Though, I mean, if you're investing scarabs, so risk scarabs are incredibly expensive in trade, right? So for trade, this game's balance. Everything's balanced around trades. For trade, like it's paying for itself, but it's quite expensive a lot of times to you're investing in these things for a reason. I mean,
no, not really, because like the thing is, like those maps will drop 1 or 2 divines, and that pays for like next 100 something maps. So it doesn't matter. Like normal maps will not drop divines, and the currency multiplier map will drop 1 or 2 divines, and it's like if we're talking about.
I mean, there's the Abyss threat that basically uses nothing, right? You're using like scarabs that you sustain yourself from running the map.
Edifice, yeah.
So that's completely free. There's other strats like the Breach or the Alvas that don't really drop any scarabs. They only drop currency, but so they're not really SSF sustainable. But in trade, I'm still making good profit out of them and
for sure
buy more scarabs. I mean, yeah, like, my only real gripe was what Legi meant. I didn't want to draw this out so much. I just like the jump from regular maps to these 16.5s is like insane, right? It's not just a small upgrade. It's just
you
now
think
you unlock the real end game. And
basically, the currency multiplier, or like the multipliers in general that was from the 17s that are now on the 16.5s, those are the problems more than the scarabs, for example.
Yeah, the scarabs are good in other maps too, right? It's just you have to use them in these more currency multiplier maps because these multipliers are so big. The scarab multipliers too, or the map multipliers, or like the amount of maps you can
like,
print.
For example, like if we talk about like multipliers, like you run 8-1 map without any multipliers, and you let's say invest into scarabs on your passive Atlas tree. Like you go full scarabs, you like giga investment. You drop like 10 scarabs, and those maps with 100 multiplier, you drop 150. 200, 300, whatever the number is. Like it's such a big difference between like the baseline map and this map, right?
Do you think a tweak of like whatever, it's like a 70% reduction in how the multiplier scaling would be appropriate?
No, I think 17 is too much. Like if I was an armchair developer right here, it like would be like
you got arms, you got a chair.
Bump,
you can do it.
Bump the baseline, but like 50%, maybe 50, 100%, and then
you want to give the power back to the Alkin goers. The mom and pops playing path.
Well, even not Alkin goers, it's just baseline loot of the game should feel a bit better.
Another approach could maybe be to make these maps really rare, right? Like because right now we're sustaining them. They're basically free, right? These memory maps, but if they're like a very rare thing. That could kind of balance it, I suppose. But I don't know if that's the right solution. That doesn't sound fun.
Yeah, exactly.
I think we're back to 17s then. That just seems like you're kind of there.
Yeah. So I think I really like they are accessible, yeah. Being accessible is good, but like the loot being like so much better is like crazy.
Yeah.
So like the jump is kind of weird.
Like it's kind of silly when you can basically hide all the scarabs from your filter when you're not doing a scarab map and then only show them when you're doing a scarab D16.5 or 17 because they'll drop 99% of your total scarabs anyway.
Yep.
It feels a bit silly.
No,
but overall, I do like the addition. Like it's a better end game or meta game that we had in the 17 dominated leagues where you had to run those. Those felt a lot less fun. Still, I wish they would have gone a bit further and maybe reworked some of the 16.5s or 17 mods. Like there's still some really
which of the modifiers
unfun ones in there. Like the action speed slower, like why?
Yeah, per cast.
Why is that a thing? Why are some classes just immune to it? Like, why is that even a thing?
Yeah, literally shoehorns you to a fucking trickster or playing like a specific item to all its
just have an ephemeral garb on your guy.
Stupid.
Yeah, things like that.
It doesn't really fix it. Like that's the thing. Like ephemeral garb is not that good.
Yeah.
But yeah, it just feels ass. It's still the same thing. Like the 17 mods, still a problem. They need to look at it.
I personally hate the -20 max or the 15 pen as well. Like, why are those numbers so freaking high, right?
I feel like those. I mean, that just exists. I think I don't think it's good. I think they should just not have them. But I feel like those just exist to drain chaos because they did it the same league the Reg Exchange happened. And again, kind of
thinking like XP or chaos.
Yeah, well, that too.
Yeah, like if you're playing hardcore,
I'm just never going to run them. I'm just not going to run them though. Like it takes one death for your brain, your neurons to activate and be like, I'm going to just add this to my regex. Like how many times you're going to die to volatile cores before you just remove it from your fucking filter? Basically, it's the same thing. It's just like I'd rather spend an extra 10C than not have to deal with that.
some of those mods you have to run because they're bound to like gigantic loot multipliers. Like, Volatile Core's best scarab multiplier.
Yeah,
remove 9% best currency multiplier. You have to run those because otherwise you drop nothing. It's, that's my biggest problem with it.
Yeah.
I mean, because, honestly, the only really unfun ones, in my opinion, are the action speed slows. Maybe you could argue that the 3% no damage thing is also on that level, which is just not difficult, just unfun.
Losing
right?
half my ES to less defenses is kind of a bummer.
Yeah, but that's not unfun, right? It's just
it's just not hard. Fun. I think it's the opposite of fun.
At least you're still playing the game. At
I walk in and I have 7k ES. I'm not happy.
If my character moves at a snail's pace, or the worst part, these action speed slows, they stack additively. So I have a map where I'm 50% reduced speed because I'm losing 5% per
and then vines.
Attack. And then a Drowning Orb spawns in my vicinity and applies another 50% reduced debuff, and I'm just watching my character die because I can't move.
Or you just stand in Delhi and you have one of those mods. Yep, dead because additively.
They should not scale additively. I don't know what they were thinking there.
Well, the ones added with risk don't. At least those don't scale. That's something.
I mean, I'm not saying the scaling, but the stacking. I mean,
sorry. Sure. Yeah. Well, it's weird because like Temp Chains has a cap on enemies, but it doesn't have a cap on us. Like things like that. Like you can't reduce certain modifiers to believe.
I should be able to use my instant blink at least, right? But if you have zero action speed, you can't use your instant blink. You're just dead.
Yeah, I agree. It definitely is requires some tuning.
But I mean, they're still 100 times better than on release. Like, do you guys remember how bad the mods were when Tier 17s came out? Like, that was a shit show, right?
Oh yeah, I remember.
Absolute shit show.
Some of the really worst ones.
Literally, there was no build in League that could like Alkin go them for like 2 leagues because there was some combination always that.
The funniest part is how initially they didn't make them re-rollable, right? The idea was you just blind it and make a new build if you can't run the maps or something or sell it. Like,
and honestly, that would have been fine if the rewards were like astronomical. I would have been like, oh man, this thing dropped 3 Uber attempts. Like that's fine. I'll re-roll for this. It's got to be worth it, but it just wasn't remotely worth it. Yeah. I do miss Back to Basics though. Don't remind me. That was my favorite. I want to go back to those days. I want to see the.
I find it a bit weird as how the 17s are in a weird state now. Since the memory maps are so common and sustainable, like what do you even use 17s for, right? I feel like I'm just bushing them like Guardians.
I was talking to Legi about this last week. It's literally you put on 4 quant, you put on 4 sack frags a risk, and then you just hope to get 2 Uber fragments, maybe 3 on a good day, and that's the entirety of it for me. I mean, it's just nothing more than Uber
run
access.
Fortress because all the loot drops from barrels apparently in this game. So
Fortress does have great secondary drops. I'll say that. I mean, yeah, like it's pretty much just doing them. Like I've been trying to do them for either the Uber bosses or I've been trying to get a Darkseer for 2 weeks now. That of a specific. I've done 124 sanctuaries.
I mean, I guess it's fair. Like nobody really enjoyed running them so much. It's probably fine if they take a step back and become kind of less relevant.
I guess to your point, like so, I still they're obviously crafted. I still chisel them. I still put investment into them. It's just if they don't roll well, I run to the boss and I leave. And if they do roll well, and it's like, oh, this is a high scarab one, I just full clear the map. So it's kind of like 17s just feel like the cherry, on top of the sundae. That is 16.5. Like I'm running 16.5s to play the game. And it's like, oh, I've got 10, 15, 17s. Let me run them. And then maybe I'll do Ubers at the end of the week. And that's
they are a lot easier to roll because they always come with 6 mods, right? Well, a 16.5 has the normal rare item rules where they usually 4 modded when you alch them. Sometimes 5 and very rarely are they 6 modded. So you usually have to exalt them up. And that makes your 17s a lot cheaper to roll, I suppose.
Yeah. The 4 to 10 seconds doing no damage is a bummer. That's. I mean, I'm not going to roll.
They added a rune graph to counter that now, which is cool, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, the rune graph, the warp makes that shorter, that window. So that feels really nice.
That's my favorite of the rune graphs by a mile because it just is so generically good, I feel like.
Yeah.
Just having 30% increased buff effect, 30% reduced buff, debuff is like. There's no scenario where this isn't just really beneficial feeling.
Yeah, if your build can spare a point, you should take that always.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it works on shrines, so like you're always gonna run some shrines at some point, so it's just always worth. I feel like, like temporary buffs like phasing.
Yeah, I mean, if you're playing a shrine strat, then it's a no-brainer. But like, even without the shrines, I feel like just for the debuff reduction, it's kind of worth.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, you drown faster. That's worth, right?
It's just you can end your suffering quicker. It's easy. So you guys,
one more thing about the whole memory thing, right?
Yeah.
What about the memory chains? You probably guys have forgotten about them because they're so irrelevant.
No, I still
promote it as a pretty big thing.
They're
right?
they're really useful because of the labs and the mortal fragments. That's the thing that I think like
okay, that's a little abuse case, I guess.
I'm gonna abuse you. That's the entire point of them for me.
I mean, I would like the memory chains if they weren't rolled in this stupid freaking window.
Yeah, no,
it's so annoying.
No stash access sucks.
And
No
also,
scarabs?
you know, random mods, random maps, random layouts is just we are not playing PoE2 here. Okay, keep that thing in PoE2. Okay, it's fine. We wanna choose our maps.
I really hope they're gonna improve on those. Like they could be so much better. Like the concept is really cool. I feel like with these cascading buffs that make the maps juicy and juicier. I like the idea of it, but the execution is lacking.
Definitely, yeah.
Piss poor. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm not gonna say lacking.
Also, the fact that it doesn't stack either, right? Like when you find one, you have to run it right now, or you can't find a new one. Like how backwards is that?
You literally stop
back in like
it's just
2015.
Yeah.
Yeah, they literally rework masters for that to not happen, and we are here again.
Yep.
Like, come on, GG.
I mean, we realized that on like day one of the league. I don't know how that even got through. That's a bit of a disappointment. Like after I did like two of those chains, I realized, well, this is gonna mean we can't stack them, we can't save them. That's like the age-old problem, and that's gonna get changed eventually.
I just hope it was, not enough time for because they needed to bake the league like really fast because of all the ancillary things happening with PoE2 and like GG itself. So I hope it was like those things are just we just didn't have time and we had to like ship something, right? So I hope the next league we're gonna have some improvement. But one thing that's very positive for me with those chains is that sometimes I was using it to like do certain strats. For example, like when I was having a Harby like Altas 3, and you get like Harby buff in those memory chains, it kind of feels really nice to like actually run Harby maps. For example, using the buff for you get there, like
the idea sounds good, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, there are some niche cases that it feels really nice when it happens, but like the gameplay loop that they were intending you to do is so ass backwards. It's like terrible. It's never gonna.
It's just not worth. Like, sure, I have what is it, 25% increased chance for King Harbies or whatever, right?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna like change my plans for that, right? It's not OP enough for me to really lean into it. It's not worth the time.
So yeah, it's like if you have it, then sure you can utilize it. But
if
like,
I could save up like 20 of these in a row, then we're talking, right? Then it would be worth swapping into it. Or if it was a higher number or something.
So if you can just itemize them like a temple, like there's no way we definitely have the technology to itemize those sort of things, right? So
I mean,
the ability to do
we even had themed memories before, right? Like why doesn't it just you find Aegon and it drops like a Harbinger memory, and now you have a Harbinger memory that you roll once in your stash, and then all the maps have those mods, and it starts out with the Harbinger. Like the first thing you get is the Harbinger buff thing. Maybe that's on there by default, and then you get a couple other random mods from the chain afterwards.
It's just so funny to me that we literally had the memory system that works like that. Like you dropped itemized memory that you chain it, and they removed it and replaced it with like this.
I mean, does it surprise you considering every single problem in PoE2, for example, has been solved for 8 years in PoE1? Is it like something that they do all the time where it's like they've introduced a new mechanic that we've already identified, utilized, and solved, and then somehow they say the exact same pitfalls time and time again?
Yeah, I'm not surprised. It's just funny at this point. Oh, maybe not funny. Sometimes it's disappointing. Right?
Depressing.
Also funny.
The term I like to use. Depressing.
Yeah, I'm not I'm not surprised enough to be depressed. At least I expected that kind of. So,
that's fair.
Yeah.
So
another thing that I feel like they kind of missed the mark is the whole like memory strand items. They're nice. Like I actually used them probably more than most people, but I feel like overall they've been kind of irrelevant. It reminds me a bit of the how items with ETA and Exile influence can drop when you take those Atlas points.
Oh God!
And everyone
yeah,
hides them
no.
on the filter because it's completely worthless, right? It's
right.
I think I think
it's
I
a
showed
concept that
them
doesn't make any sense.
if they drop with an exceptional roll on an already tier 1 base that is like rolled for 100% defense localized or something like the it has to take like every of these atrocious boxes, then it's like maybe it gets shown. But really, like you're saying, it's like I'm not gonna find a glove. I mean, maybe if it's like a glove that drops with exceptional strike, I might be like, and it happened to be on the right base, and it happened, if all the stars align. But realistically, no, it's never gonna happen. So it doesn't. It's not relevant ever.
I mean, the strands are definitely more relevant, especially on leaks that I think they're really, really good. They're basically like high tier rares in PoE2, where it says, tier 3 rare or something, and that's kind of how it feels.
They're
right? It's just
especially
always
good
well rolled when you idea it.
for certain crafting things. Just abuse them. I mean, like the way that they're rolling, like you could roll them with like harvest crafting. It doesn't remove them, or some things do and some things don't. Is kind of strange. But yeah, I mean, the worst is like if you don't find, like, if I'm trying to craft a Twilight Regalia and I've got my my 302 ES1 84 whatever or 86 all the bells and whistles, it's like, all right, I'm ready to craft my item. I grab my, what is it, the Orb of Remembrance, right, which is not common to get, slap it on there, and then I see +3 strands. It's like, yep, all right, cool. That's exactly how that went down, and then it just is worthless. I mean, like, if it had like more value, or if the way that you could target them was a lot higher, so it just used a lot less. Like, it felt like it was something worthwhile. Like, it almost feels like using old quality to like catalyze something. It's just such an antiquated form of system.
The strands themselves are good, right? Like, there's very good strand crafting tech with like imprinting a good strand roll and then upgrading it over and over. That's not really what I meant. What I meant was the random drops in maps. Because there's even a special orb they made, this Orb of Intention, that they put on a map to make it drop better rolled. Like, nobody interacted with that at all, though. I feel like I've never seen anyone use that.
Memory strands, but fewer items drop. I don't know.
The whole concept of finding memory strand items on the floor is completely lost in Endgame, which is a bit of a shame. I was kind of hoping there would be a bigger deal, or like, I find a 90+ strand base and I'm like freaking out. It's a really good drop, but that's not really the case at all, unfortunately.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
I'm just saying that it missed the mark a little bit.
What would you think?
I'm sure they expected it to be more relevant.
What system would you like to do to refine it? Because I feel like, what could you do to make it better? If we've identified the problem is that they're lackluster defined in maps, and you wanted the feeling of being excited when you found one, what would make you excited? If it just had more, or if, like, what? That's what I'm saying. Like,
maybe if it didn't get consumed so fast. Like, if I pick up a 90 strand amethyst ring, I can click like 2 essences on it and it's gone.
I've never even seen a 90 strand item, I don't think. Like, to be honest.
But if it drops to like 50, you can use 1 essence and it's gone sometimes, right? It's
yeah. I guess to your point, it's gone, and then also for what? It's like, it's not if it's gone. It's not if it was gone and it's like, this is now a 61 item with like a random tier 1, something like that. It'd be like, okay, we're talking. Which I guess is the intention. It kind of feels like they did like when they did the talisman. And I guess it's just but
it's just kind of doomed to fail with in the context of the rest of the game, where you can make your desired mods and stuff like recombinators or other target farming methods like fractures and so on, that eventually random craft like the strand will just get outscaled or left behind, right? In comparison.
Yeah.
No matter how many you find of them.
The intention was like, this is relevant for like first week and then it's fine. That it's not relevant. Like like in first couple of days, you're going to find those items, you're going to click on Elson's alts and you're going to get nice items there. And then later on, you just use the imprints plus orbs. That's the intention of the system. So I wonder if that was actually the intention from the devs, which is also kind of lackluster. I agree with that, but maybe it's actually fine at the end of the day.
Yeah.
That's it's like niche. Those better items that you pick up for a couple of days and like, sometimes you drop a really nice, like, a base that you can press 2 essence or something and it still feels okay. Which I'm not that disappointed with that system personally.
I think it feels way better. I would say on strand items feel way better on weapons when recombinating exists, because getting, like, it's quite common to see like a strand fizz, we'll say like a sword, one-hand sword, like a thrusting sword. It's really quite common to see a tier 1 fizz roll, one of the tier 1 fizz rolls, so it kind of just feels like it a little bit like recombinator bait at a time. And to the point of like more that we have leech as a suffix and res is removed, it's even more room for like weapons to just be better. So I think like for a lot of gear it's kind of hard, but for weapons it feels like it still kind of excels with strands where it's like all ID like post boss you'll get like whatever 5 to 10 rares or something, right? With strands. I'll check like all the fizz weapons and it's pretty common to see like a flaring or dictators, whatever, and it's like, all right, well, I'll spend 20k dust and some gold and just like slap them together and see if I can make something juicy, But like past that, I don't think I'm really interacting with them anymore.
Yeah, I mean, you're kind of right. Now, the more I think about it and remember, I did use them for all kinds of things early, but as soon as I had enough currency to recombinate it, and instead it just was kind of outclassing it.
Well, it definitely
yeah,
feels like in addition to that, it's not strong enough as a system on its own. Where it's like I'm not gonna. It can happen. I guess that's the pipe dream of like it's just excelling the pipe dream of PoE, which is just like IDing a mirror item. Sure, it's possible. Like it's out there, 1 in a billion, whatever. But then maybe now it's 1 in 50 million instead of 1 in a billion. But more likely or not, because recombining back in the game, I think that's the larger avenue. Is just like if we're retreating recombinators of like the ultimate recycler of gear, and like if that's a thing, then it definitely feels more prevalent to that. Because like I've tried to have my filter set up in a way that I could, I'll ID. So like if I see like one-hand swords in the ground, I just keep using that as an example. But if I see one, I ID it. I don't even look. I just toss it on the ground. If it's highlighting, it's because it has a tier 1, either like 2 tier 1 fizz rolls or 2 tier 1 alley rolls. So it's like the filter's doing the heavy lifting when it comes to checking stuff. I don't even have to. And then once I do that, then I just know, all right, so this goes into a tab and that gets recombinated. And then I do have like 3 T1 fizz swords at the moment in League because of this. It's not something I would use at the moment, maybe, or not something definitely it's not something I would have went out of my way to have, but if I wanted one, I now have one. That same principle, I guess, applies to LE weapons or caster weapons, because just the strands definitely add high tier rolls. It's just not ones I necessarily want. So I think in conjunction with like the other stuff added, it's fine, but it's...
You're basically saying there's too much crafting power already. We didn't really need this, right?
No, it's in no way is it my first 3 or 4 steps when it comes to making an item, but there's no reason not to just check it and drop it. Even like then though, it just doesn't really roll high strands. Like I don't know what I wonder if it's like the closer you get to 100, the less likely it is to occur by some amount. Like it's like near reaching infinity or something, because it's like I've never seen something. I assume it can roll 100, right? Like I've never seen an 100 item, because it's 1 to 100, or what is the actual roll range for?
I definitely see 99, but maybe I see 100.
100, yeah.
I've used the currents, whatever the orb is that adds them. I've used that like maybe like 5 or 6 times, and I've never gotten past like a 20. So whatever the that could totally be just personal experience, but it just like that's really disappointing, is to get this rare drop off of a boss, which is in a lot of other cases, like whether it's like influence orb or an awakener orb or even a maven thing, like it almost always has a positive or deterministic outcome. And the fact that this is the beginning of the crafting system, and it's so random, and you can get milked on the roll, is I think what feels worse than just the ones you find in maps. So it's like you've now killed a boss, you've gotten this rare drop, you've used it to begin your crafting, and then you just rolled, a 5 out of 100. And it's like, all right, well, sucks to suck, I guess. That's it.
literally the same experience when I use my finite amount of 8 orbs that I had acquired through entire League of playing, which is SSF thing, but like that's besides the point. But like they feel like not good to crest.
Are they
like in trading scenario maybe
trade?
okay, but
does anyone know if they're cheap? Because if they're like 5C, I think they're
the most expensive one.
Oh, okay. Well, was that because of the challenge, or is that like artificially inflated because of the challenges, or is that real? I
think it's actually very good, because like whenever you're crafting on like an over-quality base or like a synthesized base or something that can't drop with the strands, right? You have to add them with the orb. So it is very expensive.
I think that our major complaint is probably very solo self-found related, right?
I mean, what your complaint was that it's so random, right? Like it would probably be a lot nicer if the orb was rarer, but then it guaranteed at least like 50 or something. So it doesn't feel like you're using 5 orbs and you threw them all away because you got unlucky.
Yeah.
I'd rather have a lower drop rate and then roll a minimum of like 30 or 50 strands or something at least.
Yeah. Probably I really thought it's gonna be run between 1 and 100, but it feels like it's weighted. Like it's the system is like, oh, you're gonna drop,
for sure.
Anybody in chat used a bunch of them and can maybe speak to how often it rolled even above 50, like versus lower than 50? Because
very rare to get more than 50. Like I don't know the numbers, but you would be very happy and keep your 50 plus if you get one.
Yeah.
But yeah, extremely powerful in trade. Like if you have enough of them, through like power through. So they can be very, very, very powerful. But
They're only really
they
good
feel-
because they can be imprinted, right? That's the trick that makes that actually so good.
Say that
If it
again.
wasn't
Sorry,
for
what
the,
was that? The upgrading
Hmm?
thing? I didn't hear what you said. Say it one more time about the
You
trick.
can imprint it. Like that's the OP thing
Oh,
about
yes,
it.
yes,
Like
yes.
once you hit like a good amount of strands, you can now make it blue without
Yeah.
losing strands, and then imprint it, and then go back to the imprinted status whenever you want. Otherwise, it would be very hard to use it. Like this also would be even more expensive if they could consume without imprinting back.
Very true. The imprint, that's the frog, right?
Yeah.
Little froggy. Yep. Little froggy's good. The other orb being the one that adds them. You guys haven't really used that one at all. That add or has a higher chance of dropping strand items and maps.
I've tested it like once and it didn't notice a difference, and I never did again.
Yeah,
I didn't even press one, so I don't know. It was too late for me to like be relevant to use those orbs.
Yeah.
Maybe if I drop it like from my first skill and like use it early on, but like it feels extremely lackluster.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the point that I meant, right? Like these
the place in which you get them.
Place in the end game, and then it feels bad that the boss currency drop is just an item that is kind of useless past the early game.
Yeah. Their drop rates are also not super great. I'm pretty sure. I don't think
they're not even guaranteed. It's only 1 in 2 or 1 in 3 to get the orb on each kill.
Yeah, it's for that system to be better, it would just if it was more common and then had more strands, it would be a more positive.
Just
experience.
A numbers game, really.
Yeah.
I feel like, but that might be just someone.
Isn't that just path?
Not always.
I know that the game's balanced around trade, but I always kind of am of the mind of that trade should be an option but not a requirement. Like if because the eventuality I'd like to see is every other RPG has this, is there's an offline mode to the game. And I would very much like to see an offline mode for PoE. And if that's the case, then to have things not remotely accessible without having to trade kind of feels a little bad. But that's also just a personal grudge, maybe. Hard to say. Have you guys done any big crafts this league? As far as, we talk about strand items, but have you crafted anything that's like, I know that, man, you were playing Frost, so obviously you made that sort of glove situation, but anything?
Yeah, I also made a body armor with Frost with the memory strands. I had an over quality base, 26, I think it was.
Oh, nice.
And then I added strands to it until I got like 50. Yeah. And then imprinted Reforge, which doesn't consume the strands, so I keep them until I had a good amount of ES. Like I had a tier 1, and a tier 3, and a tier 4, I believe, when it comes to ES prefixes. And then the unraveling made everything tier 1, which was great.
Yeah.
Just upgrade them all. That's very cool. That was very fun to craft.
I did the same thing, except not at all the same process. But I have like a Twilight Regalia, but I used strands, and then I did the reforging. I used the strands to exalt the final hybrid roll. So I got the tier 1 prefix and the tier 1 flat and 2%, and then maybe I reforged. I don't remember how I did it actually. I think I just drew a blank. I don't know. But it's finished. I think I had strands at one point, and then something's done. So I don't know. Maybe I slammed something.
To exalt good suffixes. Yeah.
It could be. My mind is a
really
puddle.
Nice thing to abuse the strands with is Awakener orbing, because the Awakener orb actually uses the strands just like a Chaos Orb would, which means the outcome of it is well rolled. Therefore,
where would you use that though? Like in what scenario would that be better? Because most times Awakener orbing, you're doing it and then either crafting from like suffix up or prefix down, or just starting over. Like,
if you're combining a prefix plus a suffix, then it's glorious, right? Like if you're doing aura effect plus explode chest, or if you're doing a power charge plus suffix helmet, something along those lines.
Yeah.
Then it's very powerful, because you will pretty much only get like tier 3 mods or better when you have a high amount of strength. So and then of course you can preview with the beast lock as well, right? So you can preview what the Awaken Orb will give you, and it will give you mostly good mods, but maybe not the right ones. So you use another Hinocorus beast lock to try again.
Yeah.
I made a pretty
I'm looking at
unethical chest because of that.
Someone linked your simplex ammo that's +4 all skills.
Oh yeah, I used the mist for the first time this league. Twice, in fact.
Did you lock beforehand?
Yeah, this was the third lock.
Oh, okay. People are acting like it's... I mean, there's not much to that, right? You spend essences until you get plus all gems, and then you locked, and then...
No, I started the plus
don't.
all gems, and then reforge crit until multi tier 1, and then I had to annul the third mod.
Oh, okay.
So it's like 100 divines average, but it took me 250, because I got a bit unlucky on that.
Yeah, I don't think the crafting a simplex is too complicated, though. I don't know what they're talking about. It's simple in the same way because it's like there's only 3 fucking mods. You can only do so much as far as crafting it.
The reflect, as far as I know, is a 3 in 13.
Yep.
And no, it's a 1 in 13 actually. You have to hit that. Like it's a 1 in 3 to get the right mods into the double positive, the plus levels in the multi, and then it's a 3 in 13 to have a high enough roll for it to be +4 instead of +2.
Yep.
So in total, it's a 1 in 13, and I got on the third lock, so that's why.
What were you doing to get locks? I think you mentioned something about incursion with evolving shrines or something. I can't really remember.
Well, I got some from Abyss farming as well, like the Abyss hordes that pretty much everyone's done now, right?
So, that was just doing like that was 2 Abyss Edifice 2 Risk, or what was your setup?
Early on, it was without Risk, just a lot of Abyss. Yep. And then now that I'm eventually, when I was stronger, I was doing the full Risk setup because it's just more time efficient that way, right?
Yeah.
You get more loot per Abyss, and the scarabs are infinite anyway. But at but the most fun thread I've done this league was the Evolution Alva that you mentioned.
Yeah.
Where the idea is you run a map that has a huge currency multiplier, and then you run the Incursion Scarabs of Champions.
Yep. Which
state that every monster in Alva is going to be at least magic.
Yep. Then Bloodlines, and then
which
Evolution?
Also... No, sorry. It also includes Beyond and Deli monsters, right? Everything that spawns in Incursion is going to be magic plus.
Yep.
The other scarabs were then... what was it? 1 Evolution Scarab.
Yep.
And then a Beyond of Invasion, which means every time you kill a rare monster, it spawns a lot of Beyond, which is then also going to be at least magic.
Yep.
And then the last scarab was Wisps, I believe. But you could have done Risk as well.
So you didn't do Bloodlines then? No,
Bloodlines is useless.
Because that only increases base magic monsters, right?
It just makes it more likely that monsters are magic, but they're already guaranteed magic, so that one wouldn't do anything. What you could use is magic pack size. That one would work.
Monstrous Legion. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. And yeah, the idea is that you killed all 4 incursions during the uptime of the Evolution Shrine, which upgrades magic monsters to rare monsters, so they just respawn when you kill them. 10% of them or so. So since you kill like hundreds of magic monsters per incursion, it spawns dozens of rare monsters, which then spawn even more Beyond monsters, which spawns even more rare monsters, which spawns Deli monsters, and then it spawns more Beyond monsters, and it's just... You feel like there's like 5 waves of monsters spawning, and your FPS go to shit. And
but for this,
you hope your PC survives the incursion, but then it just rains down loot. I've had like 5-6 things in some incursions when they're really well, when it goes really well.
For this, like this setup though, you have to full clear the map, grab an Evolution Shrine, and then run to try to do the alphas as fast as possible, right?
Yeah, there's some new tools this league that allow us to act like the Runecraft of the Warp, right? The one that makes buffs last longer. That one is crucial to actually make the duration long enough to clear all 4 incursions within the shrine duration, because the shrine only lasts, it's like 50 seconds baseline.
Yeah.
Then you have shrine duration from the gull and from the tree to make it like around a minute 45 or so. And then you make your buffs expire slower with the Runecraft and a Solstice Vigil, the Shaper Amulet drop.
Yep.
And with all of those things combined, it lasts a good 3 minutes or so. And that's enough to clear all 4 incursions.
Yeah.
But the loot is kind of stupid. Like it just rains down currency for like a good 15 seconds after each incursion, and multiple things usually. It's great. It's fun.
Nice.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I made my Wonder for, to like actually do that strat, like KB explodey.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's kind of what I do.
Hold right click and
press. Character. Headhunter with like infinite buffs. It's gonna be fun, but like, yeah, it's very powerful. So
It's a shame though because it doesn't sustain the scarabs. Unlike the this strat where you just print scarabs as well.
Yeah.
This strat drops like no scarabs at all, so it's kind of limited on how much you can do it.
That checks.
Any
other strategies aside? So we talked about the Edifice one obviously a little bit, but and then you just mentioned this one. Anything else this league that you've been doing for Atlas strategies that have been particularly juicy or just like impressed with, or be like, yeah, really, I did a bunch of the XYZ?
Nothing new really. Just the good old, map printing stuff, of course. With
well, you say of course, but no one else knows what the fuck you're talking about. That's what I'm saying.
Well, you know how the 17s have more map multipliers, right?
I know that, yes.
And now the 16.5s have those as well. So you can have maps that have 200 or 300% more map drops.
Yes.
And then when you do Kato Scarabs of Multitude, you can print 100 plus map drops per map, and then a lot of them, you can make them all 8-mod corrupted, make them all delirious. A lot of them are going to be tier 17s, and a lot of them are going to be memory maps now as well, so that's what I've been doing a lot of times.
One cool skew to that strat that actually, I seen Manni test first, and what I mentioned is the blooming strat, yes. So if you are interested in like printing a lot of Ravage Blighted maps or just Blighted maps in general, you can combine some map multiplier maps, like the one that Manni mentioned, like 16.5s or even 17s, with the blooming scarab, which says all the maps that are 14 plus are converted to Ravage Blighted maps and Blighted maps per se, right? And you can.
It only works now because they fixed the bug.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
There's an Atlas passive.
Yep.
There's an Atlas passive that gives you a Blight Reach buff for a minute, which reads some of the maps you find are converted to Blighted maps. And the blooming scarab says all Blighted maps drop as Ravaged maps instead.
Oh yeah, right.
But it didn't interact before. So in last league, you would just find Blighted maps, even though you had a blooming scarab, and you're like, wait, this scarab is lying to me, right? I'm supposed to find Ravaged maps, but it's dropping normal ones. But now they fixed it, and all Blighted maps from any source in your map are going to be Ravaged maps instead. So the way I've abused that to the fullest was doing Abyss Hordes, but not opening the hordes, right? So I just had 5 or 6 abysses done without opening a single horde, and my entire map was filled in horde. Like you couldn't walk to any section of the screen without reading the word horde like 20 times. And then I finished the Blight, got a 1-minute Blight Reach buff that makes Blighted maps drop as Blight Ravaged maps. No, sorry, normal maps as Blighted maps.
And then the Scarab makes them drop as Ravaged, yes.
Ravaged,
yes.
And exactly. And then
I
opened all the hordes in like a minute, yeah. And you just heard Ravage maps drop left and right. It was like 30, 40 Ravage maps per map or something. Which is silly.
You did a bunch of Blight early in League, or when you got all these?
Well, they're still in my stash because I couldn't be asked to run any of them. It was just for fun.
Okay.
I wanted to test if it works, yeah, and it does work, and it's crazy.
People were having a lot of performance issues with Blight, so I was asking.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I did some of them, and I had to do them off stream because my PC couldn't handle them while OBS was running as well. Yeah,
that's fair.
It was pretty bad. Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't done any Blight this league, and every time I was going to do it, I just end up getting gold from my settlers, and I was just like, well, I guess I'm just not going to Blight again. I had to do a lot of
Blight because Tainted Alts are kind of more important now, right? Because you have a Merc as well that has an amulet, and you probably want to equip him with a corrupted amulet with some nice aura effect corruption. So I had a lot of need for Tainted Oils this league, and I couldn't find one for a long time, so I had to do some Blight for it.
Very true.
But I made way too many Blighted maps.
Yeah, I really wanted to mention that because I still missing a blind unique for my collection somehow.
Same.
I didn't do it, but like that's the thing. Like you can just print infinite Ravage maps, and I actually found strong guys through like some Blighted Ravage maps that I printed, so that was kind of cool.
I was just kind of waiting till the performance picked up because I was watching some people doing it, and it was like their screens were fucking blinking and things were it just seemed like it was all breaking.
I think they fixed a lot of issues. I feel like
that's good.
I think it's better now, so definitely try it out.
I think it just gets way better when you have more damage. Like it's just.
Oh, I'm pretty sure on Frost I could just park there and just right click and it would be fine. But
yeah, but if too many monsters are alive at the same time, it goes really bad. So you just got to be on top of like killing them fast, and then it worked out fine performance-wise. But if I like AFK and let them all stack up, and then it took me a lot of hits to kill them because they're so tanky in Ravage maps, then my FPS went to complete shit. Well,
Very
not just
true.
FPS. In fact, the game just
It
all the
starts
textures disappeared.
culling assets is what happens. Though we have, if you
Yeah,
have dynamic
exactly.
culling on it, literally just starts removing things. And a lot of times for people, audio goes first. So if you actually play with the game muted, it can make a substantial performance difference. But which also doesn't matter. Obviously, in a blight map, like the biggest downside of playing with the game muted is that you can't hear when drops are happening. But if you're doing a blight map, it's irrelevant, right? Nothing's dropping until the pump. So, at least you don't have to deal with that.
It's weird what they changed engine-wise this league with the culling of assets or textures. That one is way more extreme than before. They must have changed something, right?
Oh, sure. Yeah, it doesn't take a lot, I feel like, for a lot of builds I've played where it's just like, really just, I mean,
exactly.
having like an Echo Shrine, sometimes it's just enough where it's like, yep, there goes everything. It's just all gone.
The crazy part is I turned all of these effects off. Like I turned off dynamic culling and dynamic resolution or whatever it is.
Yeah.
I turned them all off and it still happens. So I don't even know what causes it.
It's just the game just trying to stay alive, I think. I imagine is what's happening. It's struggling. It's struggle or strangling, Are you guys, I know Legi's still playing. Are you still playing, Manni, or are you just kind of like more on and off right now?
I took a bit of a break this week.
Yeah.
And planning to be back next week and grind out those boss uniques, hopefully.
Yeah. And again, that process is nothing more than like
it's just a pretty boring grind, really.
So I've got about my entire map tab is full. I've got like a quad tab and a half now of just maps as well. And then it's just you pop the map and run. I got my Horizon Emerald Canyon or something, and then you just run and just run forward and say, all right, no Egan, leave, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
it's like a 1 in 30 maps or so to spawn Aegon, but you can blitz through these maps in like a couple seconds if you have a build tailored for it, and then it's just a matter of time.
Are you checking mercs also, or no?
It's painfully slow.
Oh, you're checking.
Yeah, I'm also checking mercs for the merc unique because I need that as well.
Yeah. Yeah. Is there any point to kill the bosses as far as just like map rushing? Because if you're doing something like a canyon,
not really.
Okay. Well, I was thinking if you're doing something like a canyon, for example, you could just run.
The boss just dies for free. Yeah.
Yeah. So you just run to the end of the map and be like, all right, cool. That way you can just at least get Eater next arcs. Have you guys felt that Flesh and Flame drop rate has been higher this league than normal?
No.
Okay.
I got a lot, but I mean, it's not enough to.
I just heard
anecdotally any evidence. But
I've heard that from a few people.
Yeah, I had more this league than ever before, really. But
yeah,
could just be lucky.
Not for me, at least.
Any complete sets?
Nope.
Yeah, same.
Okay. I have like 10 of one and 15 of the other or so, but no luck on a pair.
That's okay.
Maybe next league.
Are you what build are you? And so Legi, you're playing that KB character, and you've got like a mage blood and all the jazz, right? Pretty much everything you ever want and more. Manni, what build were you going to be playing, or what build are you playing to do whatever stuff with?
I've made multiple builds this league, and I'm kind of playing them all at the same time a bit. Okay. But the most recent one is a Blade Vortex Elementalist, so that's what I've been using lately for the most time.
And the reason
I just recently made this +4 simplex, right, which is absolutely broken for it.
Yeah.
And then
pretty much any build that's a cast. It's hard to beat a +4 simplex.
I've also made this double influence Archdemon Crown that has essentially it's a 7 or 8 link, right, which is great damage. And then I'm using a Grace of the Goddess that they buffed this league to give 50% physics extra.
I'm still missing
for each
that
element.
Thing.
So it's a great caster weapon now. Caster weapon.
I've been trying to get one. I still can't get one.
It's a great.
It's common now.
15%. I know.
10%, yeah.
I've done 15 Mavens. I haven't gotten one yet. Unfortunately.
Next one.
I'm using Grace of the Goddess on my my Wonder as well.
It's very good. I think it's under. I was using it. When I use it for Tornado, it's really good because it's so much gain damage. I mean, any fizz build is just like.
Well, I'm using it with the Rally Merc, so like I get like 400, 500 flat fizz from the Merc itself, and it's like really good.
I like wisps are also
explosions.
I was like against wisps but then I've tried to wander with wisps, and I think I kind of like wisps. Not like I totally against them. Are you using Sacred Wisps on your wander?
I mean, because it's
you kind of have to on the wand, because it's +1 max wisp, so it's just a crazy.
Yeah.
I generally I have a wand at this league as well, and my conclusion was that I only wanted to use wisps while doing bosses, because while mapping, it just makes the FPS even worse. Also, it it's just even more hits that I'd rather have bigger hits, right?
Sure.
Because my wand already has a huge amount of attack speed, and then having these wisps fire extra projectiles as well just means I have way too many small hits, and my game went to shit performance-wise. So
Yeah.
I replaced it with like a crit damage support to just hit harder instead.
Yeah. Are there any other builds you want to make this league? Anything else, like any other aspirations of things you want to do, or you're tapped out now?
I've definitely made more builds than this, like than the last 5 leagues or so, but so I'm good.
You're done leveling. Leggy?
For me, at least, I want to make that wonder like good, because it has a lot of problems right now. It's an omni build, and like I cannot, I didn't cap crit yet, and I want to make it like actually good.
Yep.
Instead of like being a headhunter build that relies on headhunter buffs to like be good, right? I mean, that's the main thing about it, but like I want to use it a bit more. But other than that, nah, I'm good as well. I have my Heist runner that I do stuff with that I don't find helical rings, and and I have the trickster. So what else do I need? I mean, the one thing I wanted to do is maybe a strength stacker. Then I didn't split my simplex because I got distracted. So
I mean, you'll find a new simplex.
You didn't split it. You already crafted it? Is that the problem?
I mean, what happened was I was like crafting an explodey chest at the same time. I put like strands on it, and like I use influence exalt on it, and was like, oh, I'm gonna use it as well on the simplex while we had it.
Oh right. No, I see. Okay, that's a bummer.
And it's like, oh, I realized that, and I decided to remove all my replica Alberon warpaths from my stash, so I'm not doing a strength sacrifice.
I understand what happened. Okay,
it's fine. It doesn't matter. Like,
yeah,
at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. But it's funny.
I was gonna do,
but yeah.
Within like, or after week 1 of, I did a bunch of heists, like I think it was like 250 grand heists, and I ended up with 2 different percented rings and a percented amulet, and I was like, well, maybe I'll do something, but then I just never happened. just never came. But maybe.
Are you playing anything else other than Frost still?
I'm mostly playing Tornado. I'm just doing stuff on Frost because he's only 96, so I just figured I would just level since he doesn't die. So I'll just do stuff, whatever on him.
Because Tornado was your starter, right? I'm surprised you're still playing that.
Well, so I played it, and then I hopped off of it because I just couldn't get the gear. Like I wanted to use a crest. I wanted to use Calum's Heart Wrath. Like nothing was dropping. No, I couldn't get anything I wanted. And then eventually I got all of the things I wanted. And it's just, nothing is really as comfy as that build. So I just been playing it, and I just keep playing it. And it's gotten pretty good. The goal is, because I'm still missing Heist stuff, I want to go back to Heist and then, get more Crested Desires a double cropped. I'd love to get a +4 crest. It'd be so funny, I think. Just that's the juice. Is
that even really that good though?
So it's plenty of damage for mapping. I have no problem. Like I do 17s with him, and it's fine. Like it's maybe like, somewhere between like 6 and 7 mil or something at the moment, which is enough to do most everything mapping wise, because I have explosions with Oriath Flask and whatever. But they move so fucking. Oh, it's also double damage. So double double damage, and then it's like but they move so fucking fast. Like I have a +3. I have a Tornado replica Dragon Fangs. I've got I've got everything for the most part, except I can't get a Darkseer or Grace of the Goddess seemingly, but that's what I wanted to get. It's just
I got the Darkseer that you needed on my.
I know I've got 3 Darkseers. They're just all ES mana. Just even then, I've only gotten 3 and 124 kills, which is supposed to be like a 5% drop, right? To get those uniques, something like that.
Something like that, yeah.
It's bad. I'm really under. I'm shit.
Yeah,
I can't help it. I'm poop. But it's just like the build's so comfy. I haven't gotten the 21-23 Tornado yet, which is I'm technically missing 9% Tornado movement speed. Because it's just they move so fucking fast when you have Crested Desire. That's the fun part, You just click once and they just basically clear the screen running around. Every time I've been trying to play stuff, because I got like when you get the Shield, the Azadi's crest, it's like I really wanted to play something with triple lucky block. Like it's so strong, that setup. You could do a lot of fun things with that. But
yeah, I've seen some cool setups with that.
Every time I play something, this just feels less comfy than Tornadoes. It just kind of feels like, well, it's less comfy than Tornadoes, and it's definitely worse than Frost for just being basically immortal and can kill everything. So, which I think is typically a problem we have eventually, is we find a build that's like ticks all the boxes, and it's like, well, I could play this, but what's the point? When they already got everything I've ever wanted.
Pretty much.
I've used my Frost character for the hard content as well, for bosses and difficult maps, and I just made more and more clear speed focus builds.
Well, yeah,
like how you have the comfy tornado build.
It's not
Wanders and BV just for comfy mapping.
Yeah, so I was trying to make EK. I really wanted to make EK, like EK the Massacre Elementalist, like ignite ones with explosions and stuff.
Oh,
so
really?
I made the quiver, like the double gain quiver with everything. That's all perfect and done. I have a bow crafted. I have it triple synth, but I'm just rerolling synth trying to hit explosion, which is like a pipe dream. But there's no better, really great way to get an explosion bow, unfortunately. So I just synthesized bows until I hit triple synth implicit, and then that took a while. But then it's just gonna be doing Keurig Beast until I can hopefully get an explosion bow. That'd be fun to play. But trying to get like a Skin of the Lords would be what I probably want to use as a body, but it's not really easy to get a specific color Skin of the Lords because that drop rate's terrible.
Funny that you say about explode weapon, because like the one build that I really wanna do at some point is finally a Penance Brander, like Penance Brander with like explodey wand or
Fiend Brand,
or something like that. Or if I get a specific like Forbidden Flesh flame combo, because I have the Forbidden Flame with power charge stacking on occultist, like the power charge
that's a juicy
node.
one.
If I would get that, I would love to use an elementalist. That's why I mentioned the golem helmet and stuff. So that thing kind of.
But it's kind of like the
nice.
explosion where we could spend, a month or two trying to get that and still be nowhere.
But probably it's a bit too late into that league to do those stuff.
Man can dream.
Since you mentioned the Keurig, how do you guys feel about the Keurig changes?
Well, they're super strong. I mean, I think it's pretty obvious that people are really loving both the Einhar ones. Those ones seem like I don't have to touch Harvest at all this league. I could basically just use scouting reports, and kind of same for Bestiary. Really, if anything, I'm just always missing Yellow Beasts because I want to be re-rolling my Watcher's Eyes and my Awaken Gems and my Synth things, but I haven't really been touching the Keurig stuff outside of those two. I'm sure there's other good ones, but those are definitely the ones I've just been mostly doing.
No, it's really just those two.
Okay, there you go. Let's try to be optimistic, but I don't know. I've heard some people like...
They even nerfed them.
Did
the
they?
Essence one used to be really good, right?
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
I did one, and I got like one Essence in that map or something. It was just a bunch of Wailings. They nerfed the hell out of it.
Yeah, well... What are you gonna do? Did speaking of, I just got a shipment came back. Whoop-de-doo. You guys got? We're still all missing the paddle, or did Manni you get your?
I got it.
All right, you suck.
Dude, don't get me started on this.
One belt, and then I got the Cadigans.
I'm at 4 belts now.
I'm on 7 belts, but I'm so tilted because like I opened the website, PoE ladder website. And I like look at the side, the first side is like cardigan from top to bottom, and I don't have it. It's like so annoying.
Yeah.
Like literally in a freaking ore hell right now.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of strats, one thing that was interesting this league for me was, that the thing that I mentioned to you is the, getting ore through sulfide scarabs. Like
they've been very good.
Didn't know.
Yeah, that's very
you
good.
You can convert sulfide to ore very fast, so you can like farm a lot of ore.
Yeah, the refiner's
really
bargain.
With the refiner's bargain, sulfide scarabs, it's super strong. So
it's basically more ore, from my experience, than you would get from the actual. It's because that damn multiplier. So I don't know if I have. Okay, I do have one. So it's just because it has the 150% more sulfite on the sulfide scarab. So there's like a massive less multiplier on the refiner's bargain. It's 15% of it, but then it just gets kind of offset by the 150% more.
Yeah.
And I've only invested like a very little bit in tree. I think I just grabbed... Actually, I think it's literally just packed with energy. That's it.
You can pick up a little bit of increased sulfide, I think, like 15% total. That should also work on it, but it's not a big deal.
It does, yeah.
Yeah, I just grabbed packed with energy, which is just the 8%, that little bit, just to make it a little bit you a little bit stronger. But it's just so much. I mean, you spawn. I think it's 5 or 6 ores per map, and then plus the 3 Nikos is like that has not been my problem. I mean, sometimes I guess the real problem is like when we've all experienced this. Well, maybe Manny's just done, so he's just a cheater. But the rest of us normal folk, yeah, you know, you're handing in the 3 different quota sectors, right? And then sometimes they'll just all want the same stuff, and it just kind of sucks because it's like out of the blue. They're like, yeah, we need 500,000 orichalcum across all 3. And it's like, all right, well, you know, or like the crops can be in the hundreds of thousands, so it's like that also could just be a bummer. I mean, it just takes a long time.
Yeah. For me, it was like I was not bottlenecked by anything but orichalcum for most of the league, but for the first time after like sending quotas for like a week or 2, I'm bottlenecked by corn and
I'm currently
right
I was just gone from Monday through Thursday. I was like it was like away from my house and stuff, and then I had my farmers running and everything was going. I came back and I had 3 boats come in, and then I check and all 3 of them now want corn or pumpkins by like large amounts. And it's like, so I just spent 4 days I had gold prepped, and it was like running like 2 million for 4 days. And I come back after 4 full days, there's not even enough to fill the quotas that are there. And it's like, it's just such an atrocious amount.
I agree that the quotas are really, like, they shouldn't go so high, right? Like 300k of the same thing is just outrageous. But what I do like is that we actually have to make some decisions now like, you know, if they're all looking for corn, then you just go and change all your farms to corn for like a day or 2, right?
Yeah.
Because there's no multiplier for having different crops anymore. So we can actually completely freely swap that out now, which I've done a couple of times. I found that kind of, you know, that's a gameplay element that we hadn't had before.
I just have them split because unless you're getting lucky, it should even out eventually, right? Hypothetically. So it's like,
yeah, it's just.
But to your point, the faster you could technically complete it, the faster you should not have to be doing it. Because the second I get that fucking Cadigan's butt plug, I'm not sending to those places anymore. Like, I want tattoos, but I can't get tattoos because I have to send to that fucking hellhole. Like, that's just...
It's so bad. I have like a full tab of rune crafts.
I've been 3-to-1ing them, trying to get the fishing one. And it's been hopeless, but for me at least.
I haven't done that yet, but I will do it yet. But still, like it's really annoying.
Don't
like,
bother.
The 7 belt is so annoying.
There's a couple of them I will say that are quite rare. I think I've only found a few of. It's the gaining a Val Soul one. That one's quite rare. The +1 non-exceptionals, and there's one of them that adds like, oh yeah, the rune mark one. Witch mark, sorry, adding chaos damage to your spells. Those 3 I think are. And
the warp is also.
Oh yeah, of the warp. Yeah.
There are 4 ones.
Oh, that one's I'm actually just using, so I don't normally.
Warp is rare.
It is rare,
7,
yes.
And I barely sent to. What?
Yeah, well, you're cheap. Rare. It doesn't matter. It definitely is rare.
It is pretty rare, yeah.
I've probably refunded like 100, and I've only gotten like 2 or 3. These 4
I have
are
like 4 extra ones laying around right now, and I'm only sending for the 2s.
Yeah, you're a cheater. It's cheating.
Actually, no, it's like more common than those 2, but like yeah, it's still pretty rare.
The exceptional one I just don't even using it. But
yeah, I have 3 exceptional, 3 Valsal, and like 8 warp, I think. So maybe it's a bit more common. Yeah.
Well, I'm looking at it because it's in the same tab. Have you guys been using all flames at all? Because I did. In League launch, I had Betrayal on because, like many people, I was excited about Betrayal. And I did a bunch of different safe house strats in different ways, and it's absolutely terrible to reset your tree now, by the way, if you've not experienced it, because it's just, there's no Katarina to wipe it, so to try to reset it and move people around is like mind-numbing. But I was doing different strats, and I really, really enjoyed Gravicius and Transportation, which is the div card, full div card stacks, but it definitely rolls like some amount of lucky. And then I was doing Riker and Parandus and Research to try to just see something. I did about 100 safe houses, and it was like pretty mediocre feeling across the board. The Katarina stuff was also felt pretty mediocre. I did it until I got my unique, the Quiver, and then I kind of stopped. But I haven't used any of the All Flames at all. I just have them. So, what was your guys' experience with Betrayal or All Flames or all that stuff?
I'm not a fan of the reorg, honestly. Like, I think the reorg is a bit ass backwards.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. Like, All Flames are good. I think there are some All Flame strats that are kind of nice with, like, you know, the Syndicate one, the Ethereal, I think.
Yeah.
Like, people like, I mapped with that a bit. And the gold one is okay. It's fine. Like, it's fine addition. Like, I didn't abuse it enough because there's, like, so much to do in SF that you cannot just sit in Betrayal and, like, farm those All Flames all league, right?
Yeah.
There's so much other things.
Yeah, it's just so rare. Like, you spend a day farming Betrayal, and then you get like 25 of these all flames. 20 of them are useless, so you have like 10 minutes of maps to do after like 10 hours of Betrayal, right? It's just a very rare treat to do. It's not really it's almost irrelevant, unfortunately. But the couple all flames that I have done, the ethereal ones, like those are the ones I've done. The other ones are pretty much worthless. Those are insanely good. Like, that's when my first lock dropped. They just, there's a crazy amount of currency in those.
So what does that one do? That you want to talk
explosion.
about that for maybe a little bit? Just to expound on.
Well, it replaces monsters with packs that drop. What does it say? No gear, I think. No equipment items.
Yeah.
So they only drop currency, scarabs, maps. What else is there? Like gems, I guess. But yeah there's only a couple things. So, like normally 90% of it drops are gear, right? But now those are gone.
Yeah.
So when you juice those up in like a crazy quant memory map, and there's like a scarab that makes, what is it? More packs be affected by all flames, I think.
Yeah, it's a betrayal scarab.
Betrayal scarab. A very weird one, by the way. That one is so common, even though you get no all flames.
It's such a weird.
Most scenarios.
I agree.
Yeah, and then you add some magic pack size in the Bloodline Scarab, and then you get these huge packs of all flame monsters that it just rains maps and currency in Scarabs. It's pretty cool. But yeah, I've done like 3 of those maps this league, and that was the entire Betrayal experience for me.
So you weren't using any Veiled Orbs or any of that stuff, trying to go for Veiled Exalt. Veiled Exalted are atrocious.
I did farm a lot of Betrayal, don't get me wrong. I did like a full day of like a 10-hour just rushing Betrayal session, I think it was. I did get 1 Veiled Exalt in the process.
Same.
In like 10 Katarinas. It's pretty unlucky, probably.
Amazing.
I don't think that is that unlucky.
And maybe like 40 Chaos Orbs.
I think that's pretty. I thought
it was 1 in 3 or something. But
I thought it was a 5% drop rate for the Exalted.
I think the drop rate is 30%. Actually,
check
the drop rate is 30%. It's just the medallion is so freaking
maybe
rare.
that's what I was thinking of then.
Because it's the RNG on top of RNG type of deal, the GGG special.
I don't know if they
I kind of get it. It makes sense because we have Veiled Chaos now, right? So many times you can use a Veiled Chaos instead. And the places where you can use a Veiled Exalt, it's usually just to add a 5th mod to your already 4 mod established item, right? Which is insanely powerful. Like, it's kind of okay that it's expensive. It's just.
Did you get any canes of Coolmech?
And he has to farm. I don't think I did, but I got some from Valdo's.
And were they 4 mod or just normal 3 mod?
I got a 4 mod on the first one I got, and then 2 more 3 mod, I think. I even had explosions on it, which is cool. Like, there's a bunch of new mods on the Cane of Coolmech. Basically, an obliteration Cane of Coolmech.
Like an obliteration, but you can't use a shield.
Yeah, but it also has like crazy other mods on it, so it's not that bad.
Yeah. Now the staff nodes also are better. They buff the mastery, so it's definitely there's something more to it. It's pretty cool though. So what was your favorite Atlas strategy you've done, or favorite thing you've engaged with? Of the new stuff, is it just the 16.5s? And you mentioned the Alva.
Probably the Alvas. Yeah. I mean, I've always enjoyed Alva when it was good. Like, it's just so satisfying clearing that and not having to worry about loot, and then it all drops in like, one big go.
Yeah.
I remember when we did Alva for unique hunting, right? Like back when MageBlood came out.
Yeah.
And we did those Xana's maps.
Oh yeah.
And used up the Alvas in it. So you guys remember? That was good stuff, right?
Yeah, I've been really looking forward to doing some Evolution Alpha. Like, I'm currently stuck in a Heist prison because I'm trying to get a Helical Ring because I'm just unlucky on that. And I have 2 mists waiting to get some stuff for my American, for my Trickster. But like after that, it just, 2-3 days of Evolution Alpha. Can't wait for that.
Yeah.
So very, very exciting.
I feel like it's been a league where we do a lot of not juicing maps because you got to look for mercenaries, or you got to farm your beasts and farm your ores. There's a lot of. I've spent more time than I would like not juicing. Like, I would have loved to just run these cool strats to drop a lot of currency and scarabs, right, in the memory maps. But every day I have to like farm something else to upgrade my gear that is not juicing, unfortunately. But it's just
Manni can't juice as much as he wants, guys.
Yeah, it's just the pain of SSF, right? Like
yeah.
I could just farm these Alvas or the Abyss Hordes all day, but then I have 1,000 Divines in my stash and no gear upgrades, right? We got to farm other things if we want the gear that we need. Got a Heist and all of that.
It's true. I have to do Trial Master. I need catalysts. That's what I'm honestly missing. I try not to do any ultimatum, but the defense catalysts are kind of hard to get.
I would say it's pretty good to open catalyst chests in Heist. I've been like honestly.
That's why I was getting them. Yeah,
it's not bad. I think it's okay.
It was honestly I was just getting them and then I was swapping them with Harvest, but it's just the defense ones. If I'm trying to double crop, it's hard. They're really rare.
Swapping them with Harvest is really bad because like the defense one is the rarest one. So
I think I learned this league is the tainted catalyst, the corrupted one, does not use weightings. So the defense one is very easy to hit there.
Right.
But you're probably not going to hit at 20.
You have to go also, hit like it's for Trial Master also, right? Just Trial Master?
Yeah, you get like 10 to 12 per Trial Master kill when you have an 8-mod corrupted map. Yep. And the Scarab guarantees a Trial Master, so you can get quite a lot of them.
You could. I don't have my Hate Forge yet, so maybe I'll get it. Maybe I'll do that at some point in this league. If I can get one. Then I could finally play a Hate Forge build, even though it's like...
How many uniques are you missing, Lighty? Because like I know Manni, you're missing a couple uniques from the new league, but because you finished
let's see.
What are you missing?
I want to say maybe like 20. It's a little out of order at the moment, but like 20 probably across the board. Something like that. Missing ones
not bad.
Yeah, missing well, I have 3 Force and Utmost in both Standard and in League currently. So when the merge happens, that'll be done. But I'm missing like a lot of annoying things. So I just did one more of these. I'm 145 King of the Mist without getting the staff still. So I haven't gotten the staff yet. I just don't have like Apep Supremacy the Vile, which is just quite rare.
That's a classic one.
Faith Guard. So like I have a couple of these in Valdos, but that's like, illegal for me to hand in for the series. So I can't get it.
Yeah, extra vegan, ethical. I mean,
it's the integrity pack.
I got the vegan one. Vegan one is the first one. Then I got like 2 Valdos afterwards. But
yeah, no, I mean everything I'm missing is pretty dog shit to get. The only thing it's really going to be Utmost is unmerged. Grace of the Goddess will be guaranteed this league, and then back to missing just the standard bullshit that is really rare. I'll probably try to get Stasis Prison this league also because it just cause. But
nice.
I mean, it's just like these 0.5 drop rates on 0.5 attempts that the game has. Maybe it'll do Strangle Gasp also, but it depends on the performance, I guess. If it's truly unplayable, we'll see. We'll see how bad Blights feel.
Yeah. We definitely won't have issues generating the maps.
No, I have a ton. It's
should run them.
Yeah, it was the previous. I think it was like last league. The previous set I was running them in. It was when they were there was some like a chunk of tile sets were bugged, and like 3 of the like 8 Ravaged tile sets just like wouldn't work for me for some reason, and it just felt really bad because it was just like, all right, cool. So these are just barely operating, but Blight's always been kind of plagued by performance issues, so. Not surprising. But some of them are like Stasis Prison, I think I could definitely probably do that one pretty easily. So you could farm in tier 1 maps like emblems like 1 billion in a day, get full 5-way sets in a day. But then just doing them is it's quite an experience. Not even just a time sink. So I guess you don't have to play a Wander, but like I'm probably gonna play a Headhunter Wander character, and that's just visually my eyes are gonna mold over just sitting there.
And at some point you just zone out and you basically just see the circle on the minimap that you're running, and it's in the 5 dots of the 5 bosses. Mm-hmm. It's very brain dead.
And then they're gone, and all right, time to go to the middle. I wish my Merc can somehow stay and reset in the middle. You could use things like the temporal whatever, but it's just like there's some kind of jank strats for it. But yeah, things like that. So things like I'm just missing those hyper rare things, I guess. And what I'd like to get, if I could get the Merc uniques, looks like that'd be ideal. That, and I was hoping to get that and all the boss uniques, but they just are not much more you could do aside from just map rushing, like we talked about. It's just you map rush and you pray.
Yeah, well, you just have to map rush and skip everything else. Just be very focused on that. But it's boring. It's really boring.
It's pretty lame. Yeah, it's a strat you could do on the second day of the league, but now we have these like geared up characters, and it feels really boring to do this.
Yeah, what's the movement speed cap? Like 600 or something? Like you could. Just or whatever, the 300. I know they changed it at some point when they.
Is there a cap? I didn't know.
There's no cap. No.
Yeah, maybe I'm thinking of Queen of the Forest cap they added. There was some cap or something at some point, but you just make someone who's just incredibly fast, I guess.
Now that I think about it, it sounds pretty degenerate, but I could take my Heist runner and use that to look through the map to find Aegon, actually.
That's
Maybe I'll do
literally what
that.
I'm doing right now, Manni. I'm clicking
as-
Heist on the map device in white maps to gather blueprints and looking for theirs. That's
Yeah.
what I'm doing.
As long as that character can kill the merc, then you have no problem.
You can relog
Well,
to a real character.
Oh, okay.
Kill
So if
them
you
right
checked
away
it and had a
after.
unique, you would just relog and be safe. That's fair. I didn't even
Yeah.
think of that. But you do have to kill them though. If you skip them, then you're gonna reduce your.
Yeah, you're gonna lose your renown and lose your exiles, I guess.
But it would.
Yeah,
I guess if,
so.
if it doesn't have what
But
you
if you-
want, there's no repercussions of dying if you even attempt to do it. Right? It wouldn't make a difference. Like if it's just a bullshit merc, you still have to kill it. But you don't. If you die, it's like
Oh yeah, I
kind of
guess.
whatever. I'm pretty sure you don't
I
lose
guess you
renown
can
for
do-
engage. I think you just renew. I think you just lose renown for not engaging with it. So if you just died to it and then you just leave the map, it doesn't. That shouldn't make a difference.
I think
That sounds wrong, but I don't know.
that sounds wrong. I think
You have to
Yes,
kill a merc
I-
to progress the renown.
I feel like you would have to kill him to keep your renown high.
you have
but I'm
to
not
kill
sure.
him. Yeah, win with him.
What the fuck? Game's dog shit.
Well, I'm not checking mercs, so I'm not really. I'm checking
Yeah.
mercs for actual mercs, not for Unix. So like
Then
it's
you're
not-
fine.
nothing
Well,
really, but yeah.
assuming that
But
doesn't
yeah.
affect it, but who fucking knows? I mean,
But yeah, that's pretty much what I've been doing for most of the podcast. Just clicking.
what are you trying to
white
find? Like,
maps
what
and
merc are you
looking
trying to
for stuff.
find? Like, which specific?
I'm looking for a swift blade, like perfect skills. I'm looking for a swift blade with like duration and CDR on the rally and insight, which gives me frenzy charges because I don't want to use frenzy blood rage on my wonder. It's just annoying, and I want to get frenzies through that, like while not having a Highlander buff. So
Yeah,
that's what I'm looking for. But yeah, it's just a very specific, really rare merc. But mostly just gathering heists because I'm bad at finding Helica ring.
that's fair. Are you and you're only picking up when you click on the things. You're only picking up contracts that have deception counter thaumaturgy, or what are you?
Yeah, deception and counter. Like
Because
don't
you run
pick
4 wings, you
perception.
don't run one rings, right? Like you're doing.
I run 2 or 3 wings. Like I
Okay.
don't fully reveal, but like I do like two or 3 wings because like too expensive to like do full
Yeah.
reveal. But doesn't make sense.
Gotcha.
So when's Gauntlet ending? By the way, it's like last day of Gauntlet today, right?
Could be
On
you guys. So you guys
tomorrow.
didn't want
What
to
if-
play this time around?
I almost never play it.
Oh, I thought you did at some point.
Sometimes I level to level 90. I think I've done it twice. But outside of that, I don't really interact with it.
Actually, two more days.
I think it ends on Sunday.
Mm.
Ah, wait, I still gotta kill a Hillock if I want my glove.
Oh yeah, the exclusive glove that everyone has. It's really exclusive.
Funnily enough, I am actually using that MTX on my Heister setup.
Yeah, it's
It actually
exclusive.
fits.
No, it's exclusive.
I mean, it's not even that's exclusive, whatever. It just looks good with the set I'm
Yeah,
using,
looks
so
good.
it was
Yes.
actually useful.
No, there's still uniques that don't have art in game, but please tell me about the exclusive Gauntlet MTX.
Yeah, well, don't get me wrong. I'm one of the biggest Gauntlet haters, but yeah, whatever. I don't wanna talk about Gauntlet.
Yeah,
hating.
they fucked up their server, so now we have to get 4 more Uber Boss uniques that are going to drop versus updating existing ones that have just been unused for 5 years. This is a great idea. This is all going to be good.
I don't know. I just dislike the entire idea of Gauntlet being a thing. It's like the only advantage that PoE has. Like
Yeah, we lost all of our racing seasons, but it's okay. We have this.
Yeah,
It's fine.
I'm not
Sponsored
not
by
a fan of
Shopify.
Gauntlet.
This opinion is sponsored by Shopify, by the way. In
Yeah.
case you didn't know.
And by boot.dev or whatever it is.
Mhm. Yeah.
You get booted if you don't in
Hashtag
Nice.
Shopify.
hashtag blue hair, whatever. And whatever. Let's not go.
I'll go anywhere. Where I'm going, I don't need eyes. It's fine.
But yeah, I didn't play Gauntlet. I got my I got the MTX and that's about it.
Well, so Path of Exile 2, the point 3, I think it's called, whatever the next league is supposed to be coming up fairly soon. It was supposed to be this weekend if they were exactly on schedule, but they're 3 weeks delayed. So it's going to be within August, which is still within the legal bounds of the statement that they're going to be within every every 2 months there's a league. Are you guys? Did you play the Dawn of the Hunt? And are you guys going to be playing this upcoming PoE 2 patch? Legi?
Yes and yes. Oh, sorry.
Okay. No, Manni. No, fuck you, Legi. Manni's turn.
Okay, yeah. Go on, Manni.
Yes and yes.
I mean, yeah, I already answered. I did play the Dawn of the Hunt a month after it came out, so after some of the emergency patches have happened, and it wasn't that bad. Like, it was kind of a better game than 0.1, but I don't know, I was still burned out from 0.1 grinding to level 100 there, so I only played for like a week.
Yeah.
Still has a lot of the same basic issues. I don't think we want to go over everything again, right?
No, I'm okay. I could, but it's fine.
I'm looking forward to
Everything in the
0.3.
Yeah.
Like, I'm kind of burned out of this PoE 1 league, so looking forward to it.
Got it.
I'm sure it's gonna get better.
There's nowhere to go but up, except down.
Yeah, he's sure. Sure.
Oh, they can find ways to go down. I'm confident they'll find ways.
Oh, no. Don't say that.
I mean, it looks like we're getting a new act from what the spoilers and
Act
hints.
4. The real
So,
question's going to be, is it going to be cruel still? So we're going to have to go through Act 4 twice in this league. I'm curious about. That's gonna take me out. I don't think I could. Doing the second 1 through 3 was a borderline killer for me on multiple characters. Doing 1 through 4 twice.
I was just saying, a new act will be definitely fun to play through, and like new lore and new story. Yeah. Like, I want to see where it goes. I'm looking forward to that for sure.
What did they say? What it's got, like, thematically it's going to be?
I mean, they didn't say
in King's March. Yeah, they said nothing yet, but back in ExileCon, like 2 or 3 years ago or whatever, you were able to play Act 4 already. You play tested. And I actually recently checked the footage again. I remember like Noogie going through King's March, and it looked exactly like the King's March we have now in PoE 1, by the way. Okay. It's exactly the same town. And you have like Rock in the same office, same place. Everything is the same.
Literally just like fucking ripped from the...
You just copy-pasted it, yeah. Okay. They copy-pasted from PoE 2 for Settlers, right?
Yeah, it's the other way around.
Yeah.
And like that act, you basically go from, you take a boat to a different island, kind of like a caravan can go to different places in different order.
Yeah.
You can choose in which order you want to do the islands there, and they're all kind of different. We've seen some of them already. They're like an underwater, or like a prison that was flooded or something, and some island with huge birds or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't know where the story goes exactly.
Nice. Well, I will definitely play this upcoming PoE 2, because it's been about, I played 100 hours on launch, made like 4 or 5 characters, and I haven't played since, because it was just like so drastically undercooked for me that I'm going to play it again, and hopefully it feels like a game this time. You know, that'd be cool.
Well,
the future of the world.
I will not play.
That's a good decision.
Because I think that game is garbage still. We'll see what happens, but for now, what they gave us is garbage.
Yeah.
So, if the game gets better, sure. But for now, no, I'm good.
Yeah, I mean, it's my incentive to play. It's still quite low considering it's voided basically until the 1.0 launch. So I don't really care until it's not.
Your knowledge isn't voided.
It's true. My knowledge isn't voided, but to be honest, Path is really an easy game, and Path 2 is easier than PoE 1 as far as I'm concerned, so it can't be that
like
hard.
Like 3 times easier, or like 4 times.
It's
5 times.
way simpler. So just for those reasons alone, I think I'll be okay. Yeah. Let's do some we'll do some Q&A questions. If you haven't done the Q&A stuff, everyone should have received it that's watching at some point in some way. So I'll answer these, and then we'll I'll move them off screen, because it's just they keep fucking rotating because people keep upvoting them in different order. But because one of the questions, thankfully, was, has PoE 2 piqued your interest again at all? Which is, we did work out. Amazing. So one of the questions we have is how we feel about Mercenaries. I feel like we've answered that pretty thoroughly, which is, we like them. They're very strong, and it would, if they were to be added in close to this iteration, it'd probably be a bit of a balanced nightmare. So we'll see, I guess. Is there any build archetypes or fantasies that currently don't exist or extremely weak that you'd like to be? Okay, I see what the question is. So, is there any build archetypes that we like, or things that exist in maybe other games that doesn't exist in Path we'd like to see represented in Path? So, like just like saying minions or whatever. I like minions, but they're just beyond shit to use because of their systems, like things like that. I mean, that's probably my answer. Is I like builds that can be automated or can automatically work like that. But minions dying is really terrible, and then the current UI systems, like for Spectres. Like, I'd love to play Spectres again. I loved playing Spectres. But having it so I accidentally weapon swap, and then I just lose all my Spectres in a map, and then the corpses don't respawn, so it's just I have to spend a week trying to get them back. Like, I'm good on that, Is there anything like that you'd like to see?
I mean, I've been mostly like a mage caster player in like most of the like RPG games. Like that was the archetype I like. Even though like in PoE I'm a bow main. I just play mostly bow and wand ranger because it's fun for me. But I mean, they did do some good stuff this league for like self castings, but it's not enough. They need to like more balance. So like I would like just a generic self caster to be a bit more powerful.
Yep.
But other than that, there's not much that PoE doesn't cover really. I think it's like there's a lot of fantasies that this game cover. So I think not much for me. At least.
I mean, at the same time, it covers a lot of different archetypes, you would think, but endgame, it all boils down to click one button and everything dies, right?
Yes.
I feel like it doesn't really matter what you start with in the end.
Well, to your point,
we're going to end in the
if
same
everything's just click one button, then everything dies, then all that matters is style, right? What does that but looks the coolest or sounds the coolest? If it's all doing the same thing. So then what I just thought of, because as looking at thinking about this again, I love the archetype of having one very large minion. Like the mercs have like a gigantic zombie. Like I'd love the idea of having, one zombie that is like every maximum makes it like 10% larger.
Why don't you be the zombie?
Or like, I want an Attack on Titan fucking zombie running around. Or like just one giant abomination, some giant golem, like some really, really big, cool.
In any other
summon.
build, you're the giant guy that kills everything. Like,
why you bully?
Would you rather watch your minion kill everything?
Yeah, I want to get cuckolded from the corner as my zombie kills things.
Do you need a chair, Lighty? Do you want a chair for birthday or something?
I do. I just want to see. I just want a big old dude walking around with me. I want to cheer him on.
Big old dude. Yeah, big old dude.
Into a corner,
right?
Yeah.
Fair.
A big old dude. Good. What else? Will spell suppression be nerfed in 3.27? I don't think so.
No.
You've got literally two options to mitigate cat spell damage at the moment. It's spell block and I was talking with recently. It's like I've been playing max block on almost every character I played this league, and it's like mostly because I'm not building suppression, so I need something, and it just feels like it's just. I mean, you just pick one of a couple routes, right? There's not many ways to mitigate spells. I feel like you could stack them all, but I mean, if you go suppression, that's great.
I feel like the supremacy of suppression, if anything, is kind of gone in this league. I've seen most block builds than suppression builds for the most part, or builds that are both. But
sure,
it doesn't feel as mandatory anymore. Just by other things getting buffed.
Yep, definitely.
Meta shifting.
What do you think?
Definitely a lot more people playing block. Yeah, I think suppression will not get changed. No, they would need to rebalance the entire game to like change suppression and block. And they will not do that because they are working on PoE too. So there we go.
What do you mean? They're working on Path of Exile. Path of PoE 1.
Path of Exile 2. Yes. Not Path of Exile 1.
Guys, them working on PoE 2 makes PoE 1 better as well. We got the strongbox quality of life, for example, this league. Wasn't that great, guys?
Yeah.
Only because of PoE 2?
Mm-hmm.
It's true. They stole all my furniture, so my living room has more space now. Yeah. It's perfect logic. I don't have to carry that sofa out myself.
On serious note, I think honestly, like suppression is very powerful, but it's necessary. Honestly, like they did some buffs to like top left symmetry, and like block became a bit more common this league, and like with swelling being mainstay in the game now. A lot of people use that. So that's, kind of a band-aid in a lot of cases. But honestly, I don't think suppression requires many nerfs, even though it, after playing build while suppression on League Start, I swear to God, I'm never doing that again. But I don't think they will nerf it, no.
I think it's honestly more likely for block to be nerfed than suppression, if anything. Because one of them just is a full form of mitigation that's really easy to get cap on in this day and age, I feel like. I mean, it's more investment to get block cap than suppression cap, but not by like a tremendous amount. And just by virtue of the numbers, I mean, you're mitigating, you're talking 75% of a damage type versus 50%, 100% of the time. I mean, I know one of them might be better, but it's working for both damage types. So I don't know. I just feel like block is the stronger thing ultimately. But to Eleg's point, you could just have both. Why even stop at one? Have them all. Have 90. I mean, melding's being used now more than I've ever seen since its nerf, probably. So, like, there's a lot of things that are just... You just start stacking shit.
Yeah, I mean, we have the Mercenary, right? So we have an extra aura or two and other defensive items from him, and auras and whatever, like itemized auras and effects. It's just easy to fit more stuff into a build now. So,
this league, I think, is...
Arctic Armor or Tempest Shield.
Oh, yeah, Flesh and Flame, yeah, that sort of stuff.
Flesh and Stone, yeah.
Yeah.
I almost never used that before because you just had to use your auras, right? But now you can fit that stuff in because you damage auras on the Merc. There's also the Runegraft of Treachery that rewards you for not having auras, more or less, and having those reservation skills instead.
There's this is kind of what I meant by when I was saying that, like, it's really hard to balance stuff. I mean, balancing this league is going to be incredibly difficult, I think, if Mercs aren't going core, especially because you're trying to balance. I mean, any sort of build balance or tree balance is being done on the back of the fact that everybody's getting an extra 2.5 auras and all other sorts of defensive bullshit from their Merc. So it's like everything's kind of out of whack. Where how builds are currently being built is totally skewed.
Yeah, it's not really representative.
No chance Mercs go core. Like I think there's like 1% that the Mercs go core. In my opinion,
I guess a better way to phrase it, like, is there's 1% chance Mercs should go core. What is going to happen is they're gonna go core. They're gonna go core and they're gonna get microtransactions. That's what's gonna fucking happen. You're gonna see Merc MTX.
I'm not that cynical. I'm not that cynical yet.
Well, if you say that, but
I'm surprised you guys haven't said
dual MTXs.
Yes, for PoE too.
Yeah, I mean, there's dual MTXs. So there's literally MTXs that you can't even see. So I don't know. I feel like it's possible.
I mean, I've been saying that Mercs are just, leftover code from Exiles from PoE2. That's what I've been saying. So,
I'm pretty sure PoE1 at this point is leftover code from PoE2, but
okay, dude.
Oh boy. All right, next question. We've got more questions. Does PoE have an energy shield versus life-based problem currently? Yeah, I mean, there's a lot to that.
Ever since Settlers League, really.
I think it was...
When they added the new base types and basically buffed the S by like 50% or something because of that.
Yeah, I saw read something like Karn died in the Gauntlet, and someone was saying because he was using like red ES or something was like the meme. Because he was life-based, yeah. It's a good,
I mean, even the craziest life stackers are like... Have you guys seen Junk's Gauntlet build? He was an aura bot for his Merc, right? So his entire build was defense, right? And he had like 10k live blood magic build. It's still only 10k. Well, the CI builds have like 20k. Like, how can you get
my Tornado
20K
build is life stacking, and it's at 15k life. But that's like pre-reservation, so it's like, whatever. And that's not like Relic of the Pack life stacking. I mean...
That's a RevPiff globe build, right? That actually wants to actively stack life, though. Yes. Instead of other defenses.
Now, as a defense, you're right. I mean, it's just the numbers aren't there, like you said. I mean, thinking about how much... I mean, like, my body armor has 12,500 ES, right? You're not going to... I mean, that's more than a Calm's Heart's value worth of life if it was equivalent, and it's not, because ES just goes higher and is higher. So they just... I mean, they did buff the life rolls pretty substantially on gear, right? You could like roll at 200, but I don't know. Maybe just the values on trees need to go up more, like 25% higher tree value, maybe.
I think they should nerf ES. That's what they should. They not buff life.
Life builds feel fine, right? Like you can still get very tanky on a 4k life build with all the layers, and it feels kind of fine. Just
that's the thing.
Why not do the same thing on a 20k ES build?
People kind of judge the live versus ES also for the like lens of Gauntlet as well. They like
Yeah.
The live builds have a lot of tools in Draidic, like Purity of Fire, Sublime, stuff like that. Like those high end
Yep.
defenses are there for live builds. Obviously, they are kind of there for ES builds, so it's kind of moot point. But maybe just ES is a bit too strong anyway. But live builds can do just fine. So I don't think live builds should be buffed. Maybe ES, yeah. It should be nerfed a bit.
The problem in my eyes is that it used to be absurdly hard to make a good ES chest, right? It was like a league goal to make it 1k ES chest or something, and now you take 1,000 alts and click on some bases and recombine it, and you've seen people on like day 4 of Gauntlet, hardcore SSF, extra difficulty having the perfect ES items.
Those damn threads of memory strands, man, too strong. Too strong threads.
I mean, what they could do maybe is change the ES rolls, like spell damage rolls, where the high tiers are really rare.
Glyphic, see you in a year.
Yeah. So like tier 3 is what has normal weighting, and then tier 2 has like half of the quarter of the weighting or something, and it goes down from there.
That's a demonic change.
Do you think that chaos inoculation is the problem? Like if you just slapped on -5 max res to chaos inoculation, does that even it out? Like something along that line.
I mean, kind of, because I feel like with the addition of tier 17 mods, chaos is a much bigger problem because they added 2 really bad map mods. Normally chaos is not a big deal, right?
Yeah.
But in tier 17 maps, you have this like, what is it, 180% versus extra chaos mod or something that wrecks every build that is not CI. And there's an all damage can poison mod as well. At least you can go poison immune for that one. There's other ways to mitigate it, but chaos damage.
I mean, if you added chaos immunity to blood magic, would that make it too OP? Like things like that.
Why chaos damage in the game then?
That's a great question, Manny. Remove it from the game. That fixes the problem.
I mean, it would probably be fair if CI would just have damage doesn't bypass ES, and that's it. Like chaos damage.
Yeah.
Like I feel like we have these chaos damage mods in the game. Everyone should, like, you shouldn't just be immune to those. That's not fair.
Yeah.
Like the Dread boss has like a very deadly chaos damage mechanic that I didn't even realize existed when I played CI.
Yeah, wouldn't know. But to be fair, I mean, I feel like 75 chaos res. Though the problem is that most of the times people are complaining about this is they're not capped chaos res and it's like week 1. Like once you're at 75 chaos res and you've got not shit gear, even like basic rare gear, it feels like it's kind of moot. Like I'm not dying to. Like, you're not going to get stacked up by poison because, like, either a mastery or a corruption kind of resolves it. So, the only time I'm really dying to chaos damage, to your point, is when it's, like, that 17 mod where it's, like, the gained as plus wither, whatever, like, that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
So that's, like, really the only thing. And that, honestly, would be solved if there was any form of wither prevention on the fucking tree outside of the one protection master that just says, you reduce the effect. I mean, they could just say immune to wither, and I think that would be a lot less spooky. Because I would just grab that, and then I don't think I'd be dying to that same type of thing,
Yeah, it's basically on the very high end, like when you're at the point where you're stacking 90 res and you're getting like 10 endurance charges, like those kind of crazy tanky builds, they still get annihilated by chaos because nothing works against chaos from those layers.
Yep. Except for block. You can block it. Block the world.
Yeah, I mean, you also block elemental damage though, right?
It's true. Here's a good question. Why do you think GG really hates people having fun in League? I don't think they think about it. I don't think they hate people having fun.
I wonder what the poster went through to arrive at that conclusion.
Hurt. Yeah. I would I mean my general theory about that is I would never attribute to malice, which I would attribute to incompetence, and I wouldn't I don't think that they're thinking like this is not, I can't wait till the players die to this. I don't think, not like Jonathan's getting a hard on every time somebody walks into a Seer Storm or dies to chaos damage. I think it's just...
My guess is that
because he never seen
it's referring to the...
It's true. I just don't think they're thinking.
It's probably referring to the bugged 8 mod maps. And he got his strat nerf, basically.
You know what's really funny is I was doing that and I didn't even realize that was happening until after the fact and someone pointed out, and I was like, oh yeah, you're right. Like it was just, I just kept going, It wasn't even, I didn't even realize what the fuck was going on.
I mean, if they're referring to the bug strat and being salty about it, I was salty about it as well, but it just, it took time for them to like fix it because like the patch pipeline or something like that.
We should have never gotten accustomed to those, really. It should have just been hotfix day 2 of the league. But
yeah, they fucked up, and it is what it is. It's fine. It's not malice. It's just slow. It's okay.
Well, you gotta understand, they're making 3 games, and each game's getting about 70% attention on the top end. So many things will fall through the cracks. So many things just will be undercooked. More as time goes on, and then eventually, ideally, less. But I don't think there's going to be much of a lull period between when they finish PoE 2, whatever that is, to where they're working on mobile, to where they're working on PoE 3, where they're working on their next game. Like, I think this is a train that is not derailing from this company in general. I think there's always going to be this level of incompletion and level of on to the next thing going forward. Like, there's just going to be more. There's just only more and up as far as I'm concerned. So I don't know. It's hard to say. But in no way do I think that they're thinking, "Oh, I can't wait to ruin this player's day." I just think they're trying to tread water. That's really what it feels like most of the time. It's like, all right, how do we get something out that's mostly quality as soon as possible, and then we're on to the next thing. Like, I don't even think they're worrying about whatever.
Yeah, this league, it felt really obvious that after like a week or so, there was like nobody left working on this patch, was there?
Yeah.
They even like gave out what we're working on early on and said there will be improvements to these petal skills and whatever, and
they never
that never came.
Nor did I expect it to ever come.
Later never came.
It's true. My favorite voice line from the entire league. Well, actually, no.
The
There's
thing about this
the fire boss. There's a sound that Zana makes when she gets pim slapped away from the desk. She goes, "Ah!" And I like that a lot. That's really good. Another question.
How did it go?
Ah!
Yeah, I heard that one.
When she spills the fire, the candle on the desk, and it sets on fire, and then she's like, "Nah, go away, Zana," and she goes, "Eh," and that's it. That's basically it. It's like if you tossed an alpaca or something. That's the exact sound it makes. There's another question was about the Frisia ascendancy. So Frisia, Necro Frisia memes and Frisia and Gauntlet and whatever. These were very, very popular. A lot of people like them, and a lot of them were added in some ways to the existing items or existing ascendancies. But do they have a place in the game is the question. Well, not to go back a little bit in history, but it's like with PoE for the 4.0, which was supposed to be the PoE 2 introduction, amongst other things, we're supposed to get new ascendancies for each class, of which were probably just the initial storyboards for the Frisia stuff. So the question is, could they just add them to the game right now as new ascendancies for each class? And if so,
they kind of imbalance the current ones.
Yeah, I mean, how much of a problem would it be? To Manny's point, they're some of them are quite strong, some of them are quite shit, some of them are worse versions of existing things. They would just require some touching up, I imagine.
I think they have a place in the game as an end of league event only.
Yeah.
Like, hopefully that's a returning thing where maybe in the second half of the league they enable private leagues, or they just let us, maybe they host a global one with free show ascendancies or whatever.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want them to be lost. Like, they're fun, but I feel like they shouldn't be in the base game. They're not cooked enough, and they're too memey almost, like the fishing guy, for example.
Well, there's a fishing rune graft exists, There's that.
Sure. But it doesn't have like chance to flee on the minor travel nodes and so on, right?
No.
The rune graft. I mean, that one seems more serious part of the real game.
Yeah.
I mean, didn't they add like some Frisia stuff to like the current
Yes.
improved ascendancy to like elementals and stuff?
Yes.
I think what happened was like I remember vaguely like before Settlers back in the day they were saying they wanted to like improve most of ascendancy and like for Ruthless as well and for the normal game. That's what they were saying back in the day. And I feel like that was the pipeline. Like they work on PoE 2, then we need to push something out, so let's push the ascendancies, and then they baked in some of that stuff to the current ascendancy. That's my theory on that at least.
Yeah.
Because that's like if you look at the Elementalist, for example, like Elementalist got some like scavenger vibe stuff, or there's a couple things here and there. So
Sabo got the blind prophet.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of stuff with the game right now is just we need to do so much shit so fast, and there's not enough time to do all that shit. And then we are hiring, and then we are training those people, and there's still not enough time. So you just have to be patient, or leave, I guess.
Patience it is. I would say ultimately the base game for me at least feels good enough. Like I'm still having a really fun time that I don't really have an issue. Like I mean, there's still so much I want to do that it's like I'm hanging out. Not a big deal, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I tried to say that in the beginning. Like this league didn't really feel like it was a lot of effort. Like
Yeah.
especially when it comes to an endgame expansion, it was a pretty low scope. But we were so staffed for a new league. Like it was I still had more fun this league in a long time. It's just been a year since the last league, right?
Yep.
We would have taken anything. We were starving dogs.
Nothing's changed really there. I mean, do you have any hopes for next league as far as?
I have no hopes. I think it's going to be a very tiny league because of their strict schedule now.
Yeah.
Like we have August for PoE2 and then December for PoE2 again. I feel like it's going to be the smallest league of all time is my prediction in terms of changes.
Yeah, I feel the same.
That's okay.
They might do like a numbers, like a small content league, big balance league. I mean, that's kind of what they were kind of hinting about. So maybe that is not like, needed when, entire art team can not work on the league much, but like, a couple of years, they just change the numbers. And that's kind of what, honestly, PoE needs right now. So I don't know.
You see one of those
I would be happy.
I mean,
where it says
why are you so sure that the
gems?
art team is needed and not like, I feel like the brains behind balance and gameplay are what they need in PoE2 right now to fix that game. Yeah, but
we'll see. But like,
the only thing I wish for is that it actually comes out in October. Like even if they change nothing at all.
I think they're going to immediately lie about their schedule. Like
surely not, right? Like I'm just hoping they stick to
Yeah.
Gotta be funny if they do actually. Oh, we just have to,
Just kidding. I'm just joking.
1 week more.
Yeah.
1 week more, maybe 2 weeks more. It's fine.
Yeah.
Oh, we just couldn't make it.
That would be unfortunate.
So crazy.
There was one other question that like 3 different people asked, so we'll kind of end on that one. But it was thoughts on Settlers and its implementation. We're obviously a bit biased for twofold because A, solo self-found, and B, at least 2 of us are still trying to farm Caddy Daddy's ass paddle, the Cadigan Totem Scepter. But Legi, what is your thoughts on Settler in its entirety as far as recombinators, the ships, whatever?
It's really surprising that they didn't change shit and they nerfed it. And like, it's honestly kind of embarrassing how it was implemented, how like low effort implementation that was. There's good stuff in Settlers because I enjoy Settlers. Like I really enjoy Settlers as a mechanic, and I like farming it. It just PoE doesn't need a fucking mobile game in it. Like mappers are still extremely fucking broken, and you need to do it. Like if you're playing enough, like well maybe not need to do it, but like you feel so like pressured to do it. Honestly, like I mean the crops you can just farm mirrors. Like it's so much power creep. So I don't know. Like Recombinator being in the game is fine. I don't think it's a problem. But like rest of the King's March, I don't know. Not a fan.
Yeah,
even though I enjoy it personally.
After I got my headhunter from mappers, I just stopped really doing them because it's like I was getting like a T0 like every other day, and it just felt like they were.
I've never seen one.
Yeah, well, it was like 3 or 4 days in a row. I mean, it was like I got 3 different Ralakesh from them. It just feels like hollow progression, I guess.
I've never seen a unique from them at all on my build, I think.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
I keep getting Valdas and Divines. But...
Yeah, but the fact, like, you're probably more likely to see a high tier unique from a Valdos than you are in most people's experiences from then acquiring them from whatever their intentional means are. And you're getting so many Valdos from your mappers. I feel like you get a couple a day easily. I mean, obviously you can get them from Edifice stuff, but they're just like playing. They're just the way that they're playing. It feels like it's just their significant advantage to them that doesn't almost feel like not earned in a way, which just feels kind of bad.
What the mappers or the Valdos in general?
The mappers. The Valdos are. I absolutely fucking hate Valdos. I wish they were removed from the game. Like they're so stupid. I mean, if you put a gun to my head and said get a mage plot, I'm not gonna farm cards. I'm not gonna farm tier zeros. I'm just gonna farm Valdos. I think I'd probably have a better chance of getting one doing that. Like I feel like that applies to something with like the Emperor jewels or so many things. Like Valdos is just, I think it's actually cursed how much shit you get from Valdos.
True.
It totally. I mean, it feels like it's almost pay to win. Like you're circumventing all forms of progression to just get a shiny colored one that's like significantly easier. Like I get it from a trade perspective. It's just, I mean, its inception's just a cash grab effectively. Just they wanted to sell them, so it's like that's what they did. But
oh, they probably made a shit ton of money from it.
we know they made a shit ton of money, which is just, but like I was hoping they would. It's just like a line of integrity I didn't think would get crossed, and it has been, and it's now beyond prevalent because they're tagged as currency. So you just get so many of them. I mean. Yeah, it's just I'm not a fan of those, but
well,
you know,
couple more months, Lighty, and we get another new Valdo.
It's true.
A
Valdo's Merc. You get to pay to have a Merc follow you around. That's going to be the.
It's going to be a new type of Valdo because it's new core packs, you know. So they have to release new Valdo, free money.
They already made one for PoE too, right? A key for PoE.
Yeah, they did.
In the last.
I was like shocked that they made one for PoE2. I was absolutely shocked. Well, not surprised, but really shocked that they.
You're more shocked than they've tricked people into buying a $30 free video game. Like it's, I think the funniest thing is that all these people paid $30 for Path 2, all that influx of money, and then PoE2 launches, the game's free. Where's the money going to come from? It's going to have to be something like a Valdos that they're going to have to get people to buy. It's like that huge influx.
No, it's just going to be MTX for new people, like, you know. PoE1 players will not buy much, so like it's just new people buying MTX. So that's what they want, I guess.
I can't wait
and
to
I guess
400 hours going through the 12 acts in PoE2. It's gonna be great. The dream.
2% movement speed. Hell yeah! Looking forward to it.
What a time to be alive. Probably. Well, I feel like we've covered a lot of stuff.
Yep.
Any last thoughts from you, Legi? Any other games you're playing, maybe? Things like that.
PoE2 bad.
Okay. Straight to the point. Any other games you're playing?
I'm still grinding these. I mean, I got all my Emperor jewels this league, so I'm gunning for the full completion.
Yeah.
So.
Oh shit.
Oh shit, indeed.
Should be good.
How about yourself, Manny? Any final thoughts or any other games you're playing?
For now, I'm just gonna keep playing another week or so of the league probably, and try to get those boss uniques that I've been missing.
Yeah.
But then, 2 weeks until PoE2? 3 weeks?
Yeah.
And there's also last Epoch season sometime this month.
Rip them.
And I wouldn't have said this like a year ago, but the last Epoch patch actually blew me away. Like they added like some Atlas passive tree and all kinds of target farming.
Yeah.
It's actually really good now. I want to play it again, so I'll probably play that patch as well when it comes out.
Enjoy it while it lasts, because it got bought up by a mobile game company, so...
How bad can it be?
I mean, bad enough to oust the Subnautica devs out of a $150 million deal. Yeah. But, yeah. I mean,
I assume you're still playing RuneScape?
I haven't actually been playing anything but Path. I've been playing 12 hours of Path a day, basically, at minimum. And it's just been nonstop Path. Full focus PoE. That's been me until like last week or so. I've been taking a bit of a break now. Just thousands of maps, just trying to... I'm going to probably start map rushing soon, but I was truly hoping to get this Darks here for Tornado, but I seem to be getting cuckolded. So, I don't know. You know
what's good for getting Sanctuaries? Boss rushing.
It's true, but I actually, the way I was rolling my 16.5s with the scarabs, like just like, you know, escalation scarabs on high map rolls, it pretty much guarantees a 17 or 2 per map. It's pretty good. Plus, I do that just because also Settlers. I just need Settlers juice, so, you know, and then eventually I'd like to go back to Heist. I've got a lot of Grand Heist again. I'm back at like, I don't know, 200 or something with... I mean, rogue markers, that is. I guess with 50k per stack, 200, 300, 600.
Too much to do in this game, man.
Yeah. I want to get more Crest of Desire. Double corrupting Crest of Desire seems like a fun thing. Because that's just, you don't even see those in trade. There are, like, not many, if any, that are good ones.
It's a really rare replacement. I think it's a T1 equivalent replacement, like a Headhunter stuff. So I got the same amount of Headhunters in Crest of Desire this league, for example.
I have, I think I'm currently have gotten, I don't know, like, I think I threw a couple of these out, but I think I'm at like 12 or 15 Kira case replacements, and only one of them have been Crest. I got 1 or 2 Fulcrums, because I have some in the stash, and then everything else pretty much except for like I think I had 6 or 7 hidden blades. I started valuing them at one point, and then it was just Crest is the one I want to get. Yeah.
Yeah, Crest is the rare one. I think Expeditions that might be the rare one as well, but like the rest of them are pretty common. Actually.
I guess I'm really close to making. I'm one off of an Utmost, so I might just make an Utmost for fun and watch it roll. Absolutely.
I don't know if you've seen it yet, but there's been a very nicely organized, huge sample size of Heist.
I have, yeah. No,
Yeah.
I've submitted some stuff to it as well. It's pretty good. It's pretty depressing looking at it, though. You know, it's just good. I mean, I got my Congors recently, and that was a big one because that one's atrociously rare. So I'm just missing Hyres, which is the body armor, which is rare, but like not that rare. Like I could almost guarantee it. Yeah, it's the problem is like if you say like something like a Hyres is probably like on average 1 in like 200 Grand Heist or whatever. If you're doing like 3-4 wings, it's like you just go 1 time or 2 times dry, and it's like it could be really hard on the end. I mean, same thing with like I'm missing Replica Baited, which obviously that's going to take. And I mean, who even knows? I haven't even. I think we're still on the fence if there's memes with that, but. I've talked to people in Discord about the Replica Bait, and I've had 2 or 3 people in stream that we've looked at live pull them, and like we've inspected their gear and stuff, and it's been some weird scenarios. We had a guy who was wearing a Baited Breath find a Replica Baited Breath, and the eye level was the opposite of what the one he found, and all the rolls were the same rolls, and I think it was totally coincidental, and it was like, there's just so many hidden memes going on here, you know? And there was a thing, I don't know if you guys remember this, but there was a thing where like, people were talking about because sometimes there's random Betrayal members will be in the Rogues Harbor as just like NPCs walking around. And it was like, there was a 100% rate of people who found Replica Baited Breath that Riker was just hanging out, leaning against the wall. And people were thinking maybe that's a thing, but then it was debunked. Well, it just, yeah, because it's like, they're so rarely found that, and most of them aren't recorded, right? So it's like, how do we even know what the fuck is happening? You know, so hopefully, but I got to find one au naturel, so I can't use div cards to find it. So it's going to be,
I believe,
who knows, one day TM.
Make a Heist runner finally.
I'm not going to make a Heist runner. I'm going to slowly clear them with Tornado so I could look at my chat the entire time.
God. Oh my goodness, I can't.
I know, but it's like, it's fine because I could read chat. My Tornado character has 5,000 life regen. I don't have to pay attention. It's fine. Yeah. He's a juggernaut, baby. Okay. All right, that's it. We're going. Right. Good pod. That was 3.5 hours. Okay. Time flies.
How did we talk for 3.5 hours? Like,
I don't know. We just pass good. We talk good. That's it. We good. We talk a lot.
When is the 0.3 podcast?
I guess we could do it like maybe like a week or 2 after it launches. Oh, fucking Legi just left. He nerd raged.
I was just memeing. I thought we weren't doing one because you guys aren't playing it, right?
No. I'll play it. And I'll do one with you. We could definitely do one because I think it'll be good because you're gonna be. I'm gonna be doing it much more. Like I'm probably gonna make like six characters, right? And then get to maps and do a little bit because I like to try things, and you're probably gonna make one really good build and then just finish it, right? So it's a good difference in experience, you know.
So you want to do it like after?
I think like a week or 2 after. I mean, we'll probably wait for like the first big patch, sure. I guess, right? Because it's going to be fucked on launch, and then they're going to do some patch, and it's going to be slightly less fucked. So we'll talk after that at least to give it the best shot, you know. So I guess plan for whatever 2 weeks after the 0.3 launch.
I mean, I have no idea. I might only play it for like 2 days if it sucks.
And that's probably, but you playing for 2 days is more than most people who play forever, so that's fine. You're going to play for 2 days, which means you're playing for 40 hours. That's enough.
Oh, come on.
Good enough. Okay. All right. That's it. Podcast over, episode 21. This will be up on YouTube at some point in the next day. Legi came back, but we don't want him back, so he's going to leave again. He stinks like poop. He's kicked out.
Thanks for the podcast. Bye.
Bye. Okay,
Good talk,
bye. Good talk. Goodbye.